Team Secrets turn to ban. Radiant team ban.
And, you know? Alright, so we are in the second ban phase. We have that Faceless Void, and we saw Nigma win with that in the previous series. And the criticism of Faceless Void is, of course,
Team
super long
Secrets
cooldown.
turn to ban.
Still, we see it succeed so many times, though. But the combination of Snapfire Void, too strong to pass up.
It's like guaranteed victory. Have the Chronos. Problem is what happens when you don't have Chronosphere. I think the other reason people really like the Void is he is a very strong laner with the Bash and the Time Walk to help just stay in lane. So he has a lot of good lanes. He can pressure for kills a lot of the off laners. So he does do a lot of things well, even though he has that long cooldown.
You have the time dilation and you have a ultimate to work around. Now you can think about what you give Nisha, and Void will most likely be played by Matu, right? In the safe lane versus that Timber, so I don't think Void will necessarily have the easiest time, especially with the Wisp. Even though if you work around that time dilation and Snapfire, you do have a lot of firepower.
Yeah, and we'll have to see where the Wisp goes, because also Nigma generally played it in the safe lane.
And that's true. That's very true, yes.
They'll have Kuro play his 5 position, supporting the off lane, so they kind of switch things up a bit. Medusa getting banned, you kind of have to consider what's the scary carries that Io's going to look to buff up and create a ton of stacks in the jungle for.
I thought like it was Secret that started banning out Lifestealer against Nigma in the first phase. Do you guys feel like that's still an option? Is that a combination to go with the IO that is decent?
It's really not the best one. When you're thinking about Wisp, you're thinking about different sorts of heroes that really get buffed up by overcharge as well. And if you're a Lifestealer, you have that built in. You have your rage. You don't necessarily need the Wisp to heal you up like that. But it's possible. They really, truly love that Lifestealer, and it is one of the options for them. Stage.
Yeah, they banned out the Leshrac, who's typically good against Clark. Maybe they are looking for something like that.
If you're Nigma, you have a Wisp and you have a Timbersaw. What are you lacking? You're lacking
Alright.
You're lacking any sort of push. With Chen, you get that. What you also get with Chen, yeah, still lacking stuns unless you get Centaurs. But what you do get with Chen, more important, is an extra type of sustain utility hero. Now you have Wisp healing you. If he goes for Mac, great. If he doesn't, you're gonna have it on Chen. Anyway, early on, you have these 2 heroes that will bring so much heal in that Chronosphere that even Chrono plus Mortimer's Kiss won't be enough to take people.
And we saw that in some of their other past games with all the heals. They had the IO Tiny game, but they had heroes like Oracle sitting behind as well, giving them more heals, more saves. That was just kept spamming the heal on the IO. I think it's a similar idea with the Chen, where more heals, more saves, and Miracle is going to be on that huge late game carry that most importantly hits buildings. He loves to go for whether it's the Tiny with the Desolator build, the Lifesteal. I think as much as Lifesteal IO isn't like the best partnership, there's a very good chance they pick it because it's one of the best heroes for just sieging high ground when you key item timing.
Do you then also want to see more save also from the cores, like OD comes to mind? Because obviously Oracle is already out, but would you like to see an OD as well, or is that too much?
I think it's okay. You can't play expect OD to be greedy and get a lot of farm and carry the game, but it works. It can fit their draft. And against the Void, you never feel bad about picking OD.
This Rubik pick overall, they did really well yesterday with it when they played it. Yesterday or the day before, Yapzor did a really good job with the Rubik anyway. He was dealing so many good spells. That extra duration of his stuns that he steals were great. But in this kind of a game, I'm looking at this Rubik, I don't see way too many great spells. Versus Timbersaw, if you steal the pure damage, whirling, it's great. Timber Chain is alright, but versus Wisp, there's not necessarily anything that you want to steal from him. Same pretty much goes for Chen. So it doesn't look like a great Rubik game, but overall, Rubik, you're still gonna come into the lane, you're still gonna fade bolt heroes, make them damage for -50, and then the lane is very difficult.
The crowd is trying to form more letters. There's now two groups of people that have formed the Navi. name with their
Team
whatever they're
Secret's
called.
turn to pick.
Thunder
Banging
Stick.
Thunderstick.
Oh,
That's a Sven.
That's a
Is that a hero that does what you described Miracle should be doing?
Hits high ground. Hits.
Yeah.
I mean, I think his hero had to scale, go super late game, and hit build Sven. Absolutely. Whenever you have God Strength up, he can just position himself on that. He's going to hit this like 2-3 item timing that you get incredibly fast. That farm stacks in the jungle.
10
His heroes
seconds
all do the same
remaining.
thing. Whether it's Medusa, whether it's Sven, whether it's Tiny, it's
5 seconds
functionally
remaining.
the hero that fits the exact same role. That flash farms, gets 2 or 3 items, gets an Aegis, takes racks. They don't. It's basically this: I'm going to sit on your high ground. If you can't kill me, then I'm take your racks.
On the bright side, there for Secret that is, there's some nice things to steal from Sven. Can't really go wrong with anything that you steal, I think.
yeah. I guess you really want the Warcry or the stun, right? From
But
him.
yeah, that's.
But-
I mean,
Yeah.
But yeah,
don't
that's
want the
normally
buff.
gonna get that.
Yeah.
normally what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
Overall, I
Radiant
like this
team
plan
back.
for multiple reasons. One of them is the fact that he's very tanky even before that chrono hit, right? He doesn't have to use anything. He will be naturally tanky. With a couple of heals from Wisp and Shen, he should be able to survive the initial burst. I value the hero a bit more than most teams, right? Shen is in the best place, but can be played in certain games. I think in a game
10
such as this one,
seconds
when it's
remaining.
buffed up by Wisp, brings an additional stun that they really needed.
5
It's a
seconds
perfect choice for
remaining.
Nigma. Secret go with the Necro. One of those heroes that can deal with the with Timbersaw as well. You just need to get them to 50%, then you can sight them.
You guys think that it's gonna be Zai playing Necro? It's not really a niche here.
Yeah,
agree
I
with
think
you.
they lack damage if they run like a Necro mid with a Void safe lane. I think you want something a bit more bursty in the middle.
It should be. It should. I think versus the stun lane especially, the Necrophos should do really well.
Team Secret's turn
We
to
having an
ban.
OD ban by Nigma themselves. We're looking for a mid hero for Nisha. We're looking for the ultimate overall last pick for Weeha. I mentioned Cheese at the beginning of the draft. Is there still an option for Cheese, or is that dead?
Meepo into Sven's not great.
Brood into Sven also not great,
Yeah.
so
Okay.
probably not.
And for Nigma themselves, you don't really want to get a Meepo against the
10
Necro
seconds
either, do
remaining.
you?
You actually could.
Good.
It's
Good
also
versus Void. Yeah.
funny.
5
If it was
seconds
the old
remaining.
Aghanims on Sven, that would be even better. It isn't anymore, but overall, you know
Team
what? Like
Secret's
even for
turn
Team
to
Secret,
pick.
they ban it.
Oh, they banned the
Alright, they
Meepo.
ban it. Even for Team Secret, Sven is one of the best counters versus Meepo. If he has a good timing, if he
Radiant
has a
team
bad
pick.
timing, Meepo take over.
It will be the Morphling,
Yeah.
the Nisha Morph. We've seen it before. Kill him.
It's literally like this. If you're playing versus a Sven, you need a lot of heroes that can kite him easily. And they do have some, but not a lot. And this carry is one of the best ones to do that, especially with the E-Blade Skadi build. Not only will he ghost one of his teammates, if
10
Sven goes for
seconds
them, he
remaining.
can blow the Sven down with Skadi. Then you have Necrophos with
5
Ghost Shroud, you
seconds
have
remaining.
Time Walk, you have Lift, you have Cookie, you have a lot of built-in mobility stuff.
He just doesn't seem afraid of any of those mid matchups.
Choose
Whether
your
it's
hero.
like
Puck.
Lina, the SF. This time it's the Puck. I like it because it gives you this long duration silence, gives you a bit more kill threat onto that Morphling. If you ever catch him when he's too low in health and he gets silence, he doesn't get the opportunity to...
It adds the extra control so that Miracle can just go around punching everybody. I think that is the key here, right? We have talked about what Nigma's strengths are, mostly setting up high tempo after laning stage, after getting ahead. Do you feel like this is a draft that they can do that with? Are they fast?
I definitely think with the Puck last pick, they are fast. They also have the catch for that. Relocate Puck is a perfect finalization of this Nigma's draft, but I'm just wondering if we will perform really well. That's the only thing. Maybe
10
it will be
seconds
offlane Puck as
remaining.
well. I sincerely doubt it. I think it will be mid versus
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah.
I think it's a tough game for Nigma. Their Secret know exactly what's coming their way with this 4 protect 1 kind of style. I think drafted accordingly. They have a lot of answers for very farm Sven. So unless Nigma really snowball and get Miracle way ahead of everyone else, have that Alchemist style game where you're just 5k network carry, I don't think they're going to find an easy way.
All right, well, let's find out what's going to happen. Who takes the lead in this best of 5 grand finals? We're going to find out with OD Pixel and Lacoste.
Yeah, thank you, Shiva. Very excited for this one, ladies and gentlemen. It's the grand finals of the We Play Tug of War Mad Moon. I'm OD Pixel, joined by Lacoste. Secret versus Nigma. We've just seen the lineups, the cost. We're getting again here in the grand finals still some sort of new heroes as Sven crops up for Nigma. Is it going to be any good?
And yeah, he as a hero received some of the buffs. His Warcry got changed, serious amount of damage in a short period of time. But there's a Necro on the other side. I love this hero. It doesn't pierce through BKB. And the way Nigma has been playing is this 4 protect 1 strat, where they have one overfarmed carry fighting with no cooldowns, and so far they have not been stopped.
Okay, yeah, we'll see if it works out. I mean, talking about the cooldowns, obviously with Secret's lineup having like this Void, the Necro, sort of longer cooldowns to play around with, but you don't think that's going to be too much of a problem? Do you sort of see Secret's lineup getting to the point where once again we're just going to see this Morphling take over a game?
It's a really good Morphling game. They don't have enough lockdown for him. The only thing they have is Sven's stun and Puck, of course, to deal with him, but he could easily pop off. And it's Nisha's Morphling, so yeah, we've already seen what he can do. Also the combo from him and Necro, like shotgun into Reaper's side, it's extremely effective.
Yeah, well, and we'll see what does happen as we'll be able to get into the game quite shortly. And in terms of being able to deal and play against the power that combo is going to have later on, do you imagine this is going to be a match where Kuro and the lads, they're going to try and shut it down a lot quicker? You're going to see this sort of group up and go. Nigma's going to aim for another one of those victories that they've had a lot of success with, where they close the game up within like this 25-minute mark.
That's how they've been playing throughout this tournament. Even the games when they lost against Team Secret, they really gave them trouble. One game they should have won. It could actually be a 2-1 for Nigma in that previous series, but they want to group up around 20-25 minute mark and just push, take the Roche and try to finish the game.
Oh, it should be just about to get into the action. You see some beautiful shots with the crowd here. Of course, you know, VP, they didn't make it to the finals, but the crowd, they do not care. Having these superstars on the stage, Kuro versus Puppey here in Kiev, it couldn't be any better.
Yeah, we have the greatest region in Dota world, Europe against Europe. I can't complain, and we can't be biased.
Absolutely not. You know, what's the internet going to say about this one? That is the question. Everyone by their keyboards ready to make some comments about this matchup, ready to see if Nigma can bring it, take it to the level of Secret, or if Secret's going to be able to make this look like a walk in the park, something that a lot of the analysts have felt would be the case from the very beginning of this event. But Nigma, they have shown some impressive plays. They've come in with a very sort of entertaining style of Dota 2. One of the brilliances of this grand finals being a best of 5 is we know that throughout these games, we maybe are going to see a bit of experimentation, and as I say already in this game 1, coming in with the Sven is something different, and it's something we're going to see here firsthand if it's able to work at the top level against a team like Team Secret.
AJ, big fan of this Necrophos Parrot set, I see.
Oh, it's very nice.
Zooming in.
And indeed, in terms of who's playing what, as expected, of course, Zai will be rolling on the Necrophos down at the bottom lane in this off-lane position, and we'll see how many heroes they feel needed to keep down here. Because one of the sort of ways that Nigma has been able to run away with games, it has been where Miracle's got that free farm, the safe lane, and he's been able to stay ahead for the whole match. We'll see how much sort of pressure Secret's able to put on him early on to make sure that this Sven doesn't just start spiraling out of control and farm in that sort of that initial 10 minutes after the laning stage that pushes Nigma to that point where they can close up games early. Yeah,
and don't get me wrong, Sven has a built-in cleave, so he will have more farm than any other hero on the map, especially if they decide to make some stacks. Zai already getting harassed on the bottom lane a lot.
Yeah, straight in. As soon as he pops the death pulse, it's just a little bit of a heal, a little bit of damage. Nigma, they collapse onto him immediately. He'll get another heal out, but Zai, one more able to. He's got the Fairy Fire. He'll be fine. Now they'll turn to Miracle. Miracle's actually taking a lot of damage for this attempt. He'll get back in, but Zai with the heal. The flame, they'll do it. They'll get first blood. They will lose Zai in return, but Kuro, he's down. Double kill for Yapso. I mean, let's be honest. Yapso
you do not want to give this guy a double kill at the start. Also, he got solo XP for both of these kills, already level 2.5.
Yeah, he's Yapso's going to say, Zai, don't come back down here. You're going to go jungle. I'm taking this lane for myself. Top lane, Puppey will fall. Nigma's able to run down the Snapfire. Very exciting start already. Both side lanes kicking off. And yes, you mentioned it. You've got to keep your eye on Yapso. Yapso Rubik, he's had so many games where You have this sort of start, you give him a double kill, by the 10-minute mark, he's going to be walking around with 10 kills in the back.
Yeah, I want to see if he's going to go for Spirit Vessel build this game. It's extremely effective against all of these heroes. Chen, Io, plus Timbersaw. Zai, once again, getting harassed a lot.
Yeah, it's all part of Yapstor's plan. He's like, come on, Zai, can you know, just give up your life, give me the solo lane. So, you know, Yapstor is, well, he knows what Zai's level 1. Zai definitely still rather vulnerable to these two heroes, so just have to watch out a little.
Oh, region for Nisha, that's a big one.
Very, very nice. Be able to get the free reset in the lane. How's the CS going so far? Very nice for Nisha, 10 for 3 against the 6 for 1, so already a decent beginning for the Morphling. And in terms of this 1v1 lane, how would you consider it to be expected to go? The Morph obviously has a greater time of hitting the creeps, but you do have to be careful. Once the levels are there in the puck, he can catch you off with the silence and burst you down.
Yeah, you just don't want to shift everything into Agi. This kind of a matchup. There's a high burst damage from puck, no points in phase shift yet. But the thing is, he hits almost 2 times while you hit once, and that region actually helped him a lot. He'll also be forced to bring more Flask and Tangos in that lane. GH dropping low.
Oh, they do it. The Snapfire could keep up. GH is able to duke it out, still keeping up the backers, but the regen's too much. He knows he cannot continue to attempt to go for GH. Salve will be cancelled by Puppey as he skate blasts across the 2 of them.
They don't have the answer for this Timbersaw. The only hero who's good against him, at least after the laning stage. I mean, they have after the laning stage, don't get me wrong. You have Morphling who can turn into him. You have Rubik to steal his pure damage spells. But in the laning stage, once he gets level 3, level 5, you don't have anything against him.
Eyes on that mid lane. It's you know, Nisha is just, he is getting ahead by quite some CS. 17 for 9 against the 10 for 1. I mean, it really is just down to how comfortable you are on a Morphling, and I don't think there's anyone in the world that's more comfortable than Nisha on his Morph. He knows the exact numbers. He's never going to sit in a position where a Weehard can burst him down, and with that in mind,
the cookie?
He can play with the regen and stay alive. See if Puppey can get in range. It will turn to trade towards Mind Control now, Matumba Man. But Mind Control, very, very tanky. Hard for them to really do much harassment on at all, as he's able to stay aggressive. CS, very nice for him, 20 for 4, 11 for 1 and Matu, definitely struggling against the pressure of this Timbersaw that's consistently in his face, thanks to the backup of GH Zaya.
And you can't even try lane top, he's unkillable at the moment. If you want to get a kill, you should definitely try to go for Io, because Mind Control is not dying here.
Puppey is able to hide in the trees, start to heal back up as Mind Control does continue to hunt, see if he can cancel the Salve. Puppey gets the full use out of it. He's back up full HP. Still a decent amount of mana to play with Mind Control, so he'll take away immediately half of Puppey's health after the full heal. He just continue to cause a lot of problems for them on this top lane. It's still, you know, Secret, I don't think they'll be too fussed about the side lanes, considering they know that in the mid lane, Nisha, free farm, free experience, Morphling is having a perfect time. Bottom lane, Nigma able to dive in. Underneath the tower, Zai gets called out. They burst him in the middle lane, a jump from Weehard, but there's the punish. The gank from Yapstor. He comes in towards the mid. One of the reasons why Zai did go down bottom, but totally worth it for Secret. They're making this lane even more of a nightmare for Weehard.
Middle tower is under attack.
Wondering who's gonna rotate mid. Like the only way you kill Morph, if you silence him before he can get his Morph off, and Timbersaw when he's level 6. Otherwise, I do not see him dying.
Well, but yeah, sort of a tool, right? Sort of down the line, it's not going to get easier to kill this Morph as the game goes on.
It's going to be really tough because they're limited on the catch and on the control. We saw Nisha playing against No One Shadowfin. He did a mistake. Like, he morphed everything into Agi, got 2 raised that just died. So he can make a mistake, don't get me wrong.
So far, so good for him, though. There's free farm for him. Of course, free farm still down on the bottom lane for Miracle, and those inclusions in the kills. He's going to try and go on Zai, but the extra backup of GH, he can stand tall against the heals, gets the kill, and now turning towards maybe Puppey and Yapstor. Miracle will back off. GH starts healing back up. But Zai, I mean, again, this seems to all sort of the plan for Secret. It's sort of part of their recipe of winning, right? You know, Zai dies quite a few times at the start and then wins the game, you know? I feel like if you're a team playing against Secret and you keep killing Zai, you kind of know yourselves. You're like, well, we're killing Zai, but what does that matter?
Yeah, every single team have been there killing Zai multiple times, then suddenly in the mid-game, Zai just does some amazing stuff, whether with a Blink or a Force Staff. His positioning in team fights is extremely good. Oh, we getting pressured on the mid lane, has Dream Coil to work with.
forced back. We'll have to take the walk back to base. No further regen on him, so more time where we are is just unable to keep a check on Nisha's morph mid. Nisha gets all the space in the world right now. Bottom lane, again, moving in aggressively onto Zai, using the God Strength. It's a lot of damage, but Zai will be able to keep his distance. Miracle won't be able to quite finish him off this time. Kuro and GH sticking around, allowing them to do a good job of taking this tower down very early. 7 minutes into the one's nearly falling. They step forward once again to Zai. Zai's got the Ghost Form. Miracle is playing very confidently with this help for the heals, and he will manage to get the kill. Another kill onto Zai, down bottom. They'll see if they can get more as they run over towards Yapzor. Miracle's slow, but he knows with the sustain from GH he can play as aggressive as he is. Yapzor and Puppey will be forced back. They won't die. Or maybe, well, not yet. Miracle again. Charging in, Yapzor will stand strong underneath the tier 2. They won't be able to catch him out.
Another confident. That, as expected, they got the tier 1 tower. There's a lot of damage once he pops that God Strength, the extra damage from Warcry and the Alpha Wolf on top of that.
Oh, look at this, Nisha dodging the stun from Sven, just turning up against the three of them, trying to get a fight going. He sets up Kuro to be killed off by Yapzor's Fade Bolt. Miracle will charge towards the Rubik, and Yapzor, without any regen left, will fall in return as they'll get the trade. But Nisha, he's still around here. He still knows how strong he is as this one can continue to fight these two heroes. GH, he'll get himself away with a further tether. He will live. But already you're seeing how comfortable Nisha is. He knows exactly where to use his power, and at such an early time, 8 minutes in, he's trying to leave this mid to get things going elsewhere. Yeah. Overall though, 2k lead for Nigma. One of the lanes we haven't talked about too much. This top lane does continue to just be free farmed, soaked up by Mind Control's Timbersaw, and Superman's Void is having a slow start.
Puppey in a little bit of trouble. Where's the orb? Yeah, I don't think that's gonna hit. Oh, but this one will.
There we go.
4 points. I love that. Extremely effective against the Morphling, against the Necrolite and Faceless Void as well. You do not expect this kind of a long silence this early on.
And Nisha does turn to the park. Yeah, tries to catch out Weehaw, but Weeha's quick with the face. He does jump away, but Nisha reads the movement. He's on top of him. There's no spell left for Weehaw. Nisha, I mean, you know, it's sort of, you pick this guy. Sure, you're going to be able to pull off some plays against him, but Nisha is going to be ready to turn into the puck and pull off plays against you himself.
This is why I love this combo. Morphling plus Rubik. You have one good spell, well, we're going to steal 2 of those.
That's true. There's a lot of spell stealing that Secret can use to their advantage this game. Top, more aggression from Mind Control. He's sort of slowly and silently been sitting here on the top lane, getting stronger and stronger as for Timber. Secret will start to pull more resources into this area. They're going to relocate in to dive for the easy kills. Mind Control will deal with Puppey. Puppey bounces away as he swallows on the cookie, but Mind Control's on top of him, slaps him down, gets the kill. Up in the tree line, Yapzor's been surrounded. Miracle, GH, and Weehaw will find themselves the second one. Nigma coming to this area of the map where they know that they're at the strongest at this moment in time. Miracle will be brought back to the mid lane. Just a bit of a punch on Tanisha, knows that this isn't a kill they can get. Nigma, they realize what they can do. They know that Morphling cannot really be threatened right now. They're just trying to do their best to feed off of everyone else on Secret side.
The thing is, this Nigma's line could easily just explode. And needs 1 item, Mask of Madness, which will increase his farming abilities on top of 3 points in cleave already. And he's going for that Crystallis. This is the most efficient, cost-efficient item in the game right now.
Plus 45 damage for 2130 gold. And you know, that's before you account into the crit that you get as well. And what better hero to use it on, and you know, what better sort of time to play with. You know how Nigma likes to move. Getting aggressive, diving in on the mid. There's going to be a TP in top lane as well. Mind Control causing havoc for Zai. As he's diving under the tower. Zai is not going to have any sort of backup come in because the rest of Secret, they've gone towards mid. Zai's going to try his best to run this one away. Mind Control, he's got enough mana to finish the kill. Doesn't look like it. Poke back to midline. Coil comes in. Over they go. Massive doesn't get the chance to time walk. Drop a Chrono. They've lost the Void. Nigma, they're turning up the heat. As 2 die on Secret. Nigma, they're starting to get that momentum going the way that they've been winning many of the games this land. And finally, up top, Mind Control will cut down Zai. He cannot get away. They are speeding things up. Only Nisha's Morph that holds some sort of strength right now on Secret's lineup. Zai and Matu, they are crumbling. They're falling further and further behind. And Nigma, they're making it hurt for Secret.
All these pieces are coming together very quickly for Nigma. You're going to have Mech on Chen. Io's getting the items. Sven, once he gets that Crystallis, all it takes is one bad fight near the Roche pit. They're gonna get that Aegis, put it on the Sven. Even though he's not the greatest hero to have Aegis on, he's still the tower sieger for the team.
And with sort of the farm he has, even if he pops the God Strength and dies with the backup and buffing of the IO, he still hurts without the God Strength. You know, don't get me wrong, this hero is still strong considering how farmed he is this early on. This tier 2 taken Secret showing no interest in defending it. As 12 minutes in, Nigma really starting to take control of Secret's half of the map.
Yeah, so far Team Secret took 0 towers. They need to put some pressure on the bottom, but the Nigma is not stopping.
I'll see if they want to try and push up the high ground. It's only 12 minutes in, but Nigma, they are going straight up. Secret, they've got to respond to this. TP back from Yupstores. They'll start to nuke them down. Time for the stop to the Reaper starts there, but the hand of God Miracle, he's back up to full.
Chrono!
The Chrono, though, the Mortimer's Kisses, they continue to fly in. Do they have the damage there? Secret, the Stolen Stuns out. They burn down first, looking forward onto side. Stuns the 2 of them. They've lost 2 on Nigma. Mind Control, Chrono, GH, they're doing their best to get out. The 2 supports will escape. As that coil holds them down at least enough to make sure that 3 of Nigma will survive. The Secret, they come in, they formulate a defense, and it's a very successful one, knocking out 2 of Nigma's cores.
Slow down there a bit. I mean, it's a minute 12. You don't need to hit the tier 3 towers. I think Sven still needs that item, and also getting a fight, getting the Roche for that Sven so you can do this kind of a Superman stuff is going to be necessary.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Yeah, you looked at the gold there. I think he must have only been like 100 gold away from the Crystalist, so he's effectively pushing in with 2k gold of his net worth in the bank. And early on at 13 minutes, that's a considerable amount of farm that you're trying to push without.
They did such a good job just baiting that the Reaper side. They know where the threat comes from, and they instantly go into Roche pit. They know there's no Chrono, there's no Reaper side, so they can take a fight. This is how they've been abusing lineups that have high cooldown.
With that item now done, so last time that push was without Crystalist. Now it comes to the crit and the... And you know that Nigma, they are not going to be taking their foot off the pedal. As soon as this is picked up, they're charging down mid, looking for tier 2s, and very much likely to be looking to try again to break the high ground. You know that Chronosphere, that incredibly long 2-minute and 40-second cooldown. Still 1 minute after that previous defense up top until it is back.
Faceless Void does not have a single item. I mean, it's a minute 14, but it feels like we're already 20-25 minutes in the game considering how fast the Nigma is playing.
Optimization from Miracle after the Crystalist straight to BKB. Knows that there is little to anything they can do through that. Sure, there's still going to be a Chronosphere maybe to hold him down, waste some of the duration of it. But in regards to killing him through the BKB, it's pretty much impossible for Secret's lineup right now. If Nigma can keep themselves grouped together. Secret's best bet to try and make sure that Nigma don't get the waves and opportunity to push up to high ground once more. Continue to buy time for Nisha, whose farm still holds very closely to that of Miracle's Sven. Itemization, he is going to queue up and go for that E-Blade rush. He knows they have to have some sort of power to just instantly wipe heroes of Nigma, get to the back lines, get rid of these supports that are providing so much sustain to Nigma's cause.
Secret is very vulnerable at the point. 3k lead for Nigma, and there's a 3 unspent gold on.
He's going to find the setup. Here's the combo. Chrono into Mortimer's Kill. They've got to get rid of the IO, but GH still lives. The telekinesis is there from Yapsor. They separate the IO and knock him out of the fight. Miracle is going to try and continue to push on forward. He's surrounded by the 4 of them, and that's the Aegis gone. This was Nigma's move with the Aegis, and they've already lost it. They need backup, they need it now, Miracle. He's going to get it. We are. Jumps across the silence. It catches down Nisha off guard. He cannot start to morph. The morph is dead, and now they'll look towards Man. He's into the trees and trying to hide, but Miracle and Weeha stay on top of him. The stun, have they got further control? Another time walks there. Weeha won't be able to close the gap with the silence. Matu will be able to sneak away in the tree.
Now it's time to go. They still have Mac. Chronosphere is on cooldown for the next 2 minutes. They don't need that God Strength to actually take that fight. Crystalist will do the damage. A lot of attack speed from Mask of Madness and Overcharge. Time to go for that tier 3.
Yeah, they may have lost the Aegis, but for the ultimates used, it's totally worth it for Nigma. They know that they have no reason to back off. Up they go. Tier 3 starting to take a thing. Secret, they'll have Nisha back in a few seconds for this hold. See how much they can slow it down. With an attempt on initiation on Miracle. Dive, they just go for him immediately.
Side.
He'll live, turns, Reapers, they've got the heals. Keeps Miracle fine and above the threshold. He'll live. Dreamcore down onto the two of them. Secret from poking for more. Looks like Nick wants to go for a bit of a reset. They'll respect that Niche is back in the game. They'll buy themselves some time, head elsewhere. There's still some free gold for them to clean up on the map. Tier 2s do still stand in that mid lane and bottom lane.
Yeah, they do not want to take another fight before Sven gets a BKB. They should respect more this Morphling who's about to finish his E-Blade on combo from Reaper's side, and that shotgun also Faceless Void Chrono will be up. Matu doing a good job on the bottom lane, trying to get some gold for his team, and Puck denies the tower, sadly for them.
In the jungle, Secret coming out. A Miracle, Mind Control, and GH, they are ready to turn and fight. Yapstor, he'll be the quick, because as Rubik is gone, Zai and Puppey have to go immediately back towards the high ground. They cannot try and fight Nigma outside the base, particularly when they are hero down. So they'll get out of there, they'll keep their distance. Nigma's got the mid lane pushing in. Take another tier 2 tower. All of these towers pushing Miracle closer and closer towards the BKB. They need Nisha to hit those items. Will find a good one. Does manage to pick up the Pupil's Gift on more. Adding additional stats to the potential combo that's about to be unveiled. Few hundred gold and the E-Blade will be done. So now at least Secret, they can look to just delete one of the supports. Get rid of this Io, get rid of this Ken, so that there is that opportunity for the Reaper side plays to come in. Because so far, every single time Zai's gone for a target, there's more than enough heals from Nigma to keep their core safe.
Yeah, if he uses that Reaper side, there's gonna be Mech plus Chen ulti on top of Magic Wand. They need to cut into backlines, find this Io, find the Chen, because they're providing too much heal.
Gonna try Mike Shaw, but Rihar's gonna be in with the counter. They gets the three-man silence, and the Coil Puppet's in trouble. He's trying his best to juke it out. Matumba Man comes in with the chrono.
Get that Io.
Damage to get rid of the Io. The Hanagon comes out. CH is still alive, finally falls. They'll kill off the Io. He's gone for 30. Puppey buys back. He knows the numbers advantage. Secret, they've got to try and push this fight. He's in trouble. The cookie save comes into play. Puppey will get side back up to the high ground. Spy back in that Necro 5. Puppey from the high ground.
There's the E-Blade.
Shoot out the Mortimer's Nisha in with the E-Blade reveal. Goes towards Miracle. They cut him down. The Sven is gone. And now they'll go for Mind Control. Nigma, they've lost 2. They're going to lose a 3rd. The bash is in play. Mind Control will fall. As Nigma lose a bit of a pain. Secret's power starting to show. Nisha, he's played it smart. He played for this timing, focused on getting the E-Blade done, and now Secret, they've got the resources to win these fights.
That's exactly what they needed, that shotgun. Sven still does not have a BKB, and they overextended there a little bit, not respecting the damage coming out from Team Secret. Also, Secret, they understand where the threat comes from, killing the Io first. I'm not sure if Io had the buyback there, but if he had it, I'm pretty sure that he would buy back.
Yeah, we're dead for 30, and I mean, it must have just been the money. Was short and unable to get back in.
Oh, there's some also miscommunication, if I remember correctly. Chan was going for Mech, and Io ended up going for one. Pretty sure I saw Buckler and Head. Yeah.
All right, yeah, a little bit of sort of money off the mark there. I mean, you can imagine, you know, Nigma, there's evidently some sort of panic. They know that they cannot allow this to get down. If it slows down another sort of team fight or two, suddenly this Morph's going to be in territory where Nietzsche can rule the entire fight. They've got to keep going, Nigma. They
There's the
cannot
BKB.
Here we go. Looking towards Nisha. Has already shifted heavily into the strength. Is there any further control to kill this match? He's silenced. Miracle's coming in around the tree line. Nietzsche, how's he going to play his way out of this? Turns into the puck. He's got the orb to create a good amount of distance. Jumps over with the silence. Goes for the TP. There's no way to cancel it. Nietzsche outplays and escapes.
Very nicely done. Also, they should be worried about those stolen spells. They have Rubik, they have Necrolite, so any kind of a silence, any pure damage coming from the Timber. So once the BKB is down on Sven on top of the shotgun.
Relocate move comes into play. Zai was trying to silently push out this top lane. I don't know if there's any way he could escape this one. They brought the full 5-man in, and Zai,
Kamikaze!
they've got the wave pushed out. You know, he's managed to take a good amount of attention away from the base, but he'll lose his life for it. Still, this is sort of Zai things.
Yeah.
You know, this is really, you know, no reason to sort of get too worried if you're a Zai fan out there. This is all part of his play.
He's buying time for his team. He understands that the Faceless Void still needs more items to be efficient. Massive Madness plus the full Maelstrom finished on him. there's a lot of heal on the Secret side. You have Necro, he already finished the mech, also Cookie, anything stolen from the Rubik as well, if you can get the Hand of God.
Yeah, a lot of counter plays potential, and then Yabzor, he's always going to be in position to find those steals, no doubt about it. Nigma being a little more tentative about how they approach this high ground once more. That hole up top, ending in a bit of a disaster, and then that fight around mid, it really has slowed things down for Nigma. Suddenly this lead that they were starting to grow and get closer towards potentially, taking some of the base away, it's come back right back down.
Next Roche could be up pretty soon. That's what Nigma is waiting. If they can play around Chrono, not lose anyone, or just have buyback on the target that they go for. So right now, GH should just save for the buyback because he's going to be the primary target.
Yeah, they've got to make sure that he's ready with that second life. One of the sort of the age-old counters to these spells, such as Reaper's Scythe and Chronosphere.
Not the old Reaper's Scythe, where you could not buy back. Ice Frog, I'm looking at you.
Oh yeah, back in the day. Disabling buyback. It may come back one day.
How is that even in the game? Like, how is that allowed?
Just, I mean, it's... Yeah, you gotta be honest, though. It's very satisfying. You play the puck.
If you're playing Necro.
It was the ultimate tilting tool. Taking someone out for a good 2.5 minutes and no counterplay at all. But of course, with the state of the game at the moment, there is that answer, and GH will be making sure that he's got the gold and he's ready to come in with those buyback relocate plays to keep fights going the way of Nigma. If he does take sort of the whole onto the initiation Secret. And Nigma
solo taking mind control in mid lane, not very effective.
Bit of a tickle between the two of them. I mean, Zai knows as well hold this wave the same area that mind control is bringing it to. It makes it harder and harder for Nigma to start going towards those tier 3s again. Miracle is watching from the sideline. He's supposed to use the base. There's chance to get in bottom lane. A quick pick from Nisha and Yabzor as Weehigh's grabbed and nuked down. Mid lane, Snapfire Cookie to set up as they'll look towards the Timber Store. He is big, he is tanky. Matuma Man's in the neighbor. But if they can really try and go for this, they'll start looking for some bashes. There's going to be a buyback from We Are in Nigma. They want to fight this. It's the Chrono and Reaper's Scythe, so they do have ways to take this by Secret. They're committing with the constraint. Look at Zai. He's turning towards Zai. Will pop the Greaves. Got him as well. He's living amongst them. He's trying to bait them in and stay for Matuma Man to come in with the Chrono. Now the BKB comes out. They'll commit with Sven onto Zai. Finally, they'll kill him, but they've used a lot. They've used buybacks, ultimate BKBs just to kill Sai. They'll find in the river Nisha. Is that going to get them off of? He didn't start shifting. He just said, kill me. He just tapped the coil and killed himself. He had ample time to start shifting. He was not silenced, but a rare misplay from Nisha.
Yeah, you rarely see mistakes like this on Nisha.
And he's gone for 40 seconds. He does not have buyback. Nigma, not necessarily the biggest of windows, but it is a window and opportunity to maybe try and get something done. Chronosphere still up for Matuma Man, so not necessarily a clear opening to take racks, but definitely a tier 3 to be back on the menu with more out the gate.
Once they pick out this, he's going to have enough for buyback, but it's 15 seconds left, and he has Glyph ready. Double damage to Sven.
See what they can get done here. Snap up at the end. They've got Reaper's Scythe. Have they got a heal to offset that? They do, but the Chronosphere comes through. They're focusing the IO. Mortimer's kisses to take on the backlines, but the Weehive in. Able to stop it. Can they get GH? Can they kill? GH pulled it. So Chrono taking over towards Matuma Man. Nisha, waveforms across. Battery will time walk away in time. Miracle pots the BKB, takes the tower. It's gone. As Nigma, they'll take the tier 3. They're ready to bail out. They don't want to try and push their luck for anything more. They've lost mind control on the high ground. They'll just do their best to get out of there.
I thought that not gonna end up this well for Nigma because it was such a nicely placed Chrono. They already used every single damage, but we controlling fire in the backlines. Only one kiss.
Yeah, it was, I think, straight in, and the Yule steps just throwing Puppy up into the air and putting that whole combo to a finish. And without that, that would have absolutely been a dead eye. So smart to just constantly keep a read on the backlines of Secret. And these additional items do seem to funnel in for Miracle. He has a completed AC. Will look to run down Zai on his own, committing the God Strength and trying to chase for this. The rest of Nigma are heading up to connection, but Zai a little too elusive. Back in the river, Biha, he's dead.
He has no buyback. They can run into Roche Pit right now.
They absolutely can with no puck. The team fight from Nigma has been heavily reduced. Into the pit they go. Nisha ready to sort of redeem himself after that bit of a slip up in the river. He'll go towards Roshan. He should be able to find this Aegis without any interruption from Nigma, and if they do try and take this fight, it's not going to be easy. Secret, they've got full control around pit, and with no puck, there just isn't the initiation that Nigma required to make an easy play here. Maybe they can still look to walk in and save things, but already on the side, mind control, nuked down by the combo. Nisha able to burst in with the E-Blade. This is now 2 cores down for Nigma, more than enough space for Secret to reap the benefits of Roshan. Have this Aegis on Nisha, and ready to look for more. They'll head towards the top lane. Nigma, they're still out on the map. They get out of it. Already trying to gap things out with the Mortimer's kisses. They will manage to TP away before Matu's able to get in and look for a lucky batch.
A stolen spell from Timber, so extremely effective, pure damage. Yapstor just keeping that chakram for Timbersaw, especially when he's on low cooldown. So there's another combo, chakram plus Reaper Sight on top of E-Blade.
Of course, with that being the second rush as well, Nisha not only having the Aegis, he's got cheese in his backpack. So you've effectively got to go through this morph 3 times if you want to put a stop to him. Anisha, sort of for the most part of this game, it has been another top link performance. He played it smart at the start, he hit these item timings, and he has become this threat Nigma they're starting to panic about.
Talk about the perfect item, Craggy Coat on Necrophos to mitigate that physical damage coming up from Sven.
Only onto Yapstor though. A bit of a weak initiation from Nigma as Zai just draws their attention away.
Please focus me, he's dead.
Kill him pretty quickly. Maybe they could get more. No, we has been burst and Matu found the perfect setup. The Chronos down to the 3. Do they have the damage over to the eye? They're focusing GH down. The hand will come through. GH, he will live for now. Gets himself away. Nisha stays on top of the final, but it isn't enough. Another tether across. GH will live. Duking them out. Finally, Matu finishes the kill. BKB in a time out to bring it back up to full HP. Miracle. He's going for the TP out.
There's the back.
They have the TP cancelers. Miracle left behind. 3 dead on Nigma. Make that a 4. Secret run over the fight. It's a 3K lead now. And those hopes that Nigma had early to close this game up around that 25-minute mark that they've always looked to do so in this tournament, it's really drifting away. Secret, they have the lead. And this game does not get any easier for Nigma considering the draft that Secret's spotting.
Problem is, Puck died, so he can't keep them in place, so Sven can actually deal the damage. Also, he does not have a clear target right now. Nisha, you do not want to focus this guy because he has 2 lives. I think someone popped the keys or he handed it to Face Void to use it. Did not see it in the previous fight.
And here's the push.
Still on Face Void.
He can save these buildings pretty quickly. 20 seconds without Miracle. He's not wanting to use that buyback. He's holding on to it. Jump over the silence. Nisha's quick with the shift. Just so hard for them to really get something going now. Now that they're playing from behind, they'll go with the coil. But there is that follow-up. It snaps on Nisha. They'll force it back safely. A cookie.
That's a
bring
level
Matu
15.
back out.
Got some extra health restored from the cookie. Poppy, you can see him smiling. He's happy the way they're playing right now.
Yeah, definitely. Secret,
Radiant's bottom
against sort of all the pressure that Nigma was trying to bring this whole game, have now been the ones at 30 minutes in to run down mid, take the first melee racks of the game. As Nigma, it's going to be so hard for them now to hold on. 10, 2, and 7 on Nisha's Morphling. This man ready to carry this game to victory for Secret. And Nigma, their heroes, they don't offer any obvious answers to a late game morph.
They understand, and we need to try go all in. It could be Owen, if they just lose one more fight, they just call it, because they understand their late game is really inferior to what he has.
He's found GH, can they burst in time? They're looking to finish it off. The Mortimer's kisses are flying over from a distance.
Yellow?
Over towards Ken they go. Nisha looks for the easier kill. Kuro's out of the fight. And now they can continue to break down Nigma one by one. BKB popped by Matumama. They'll hold mind control up to the side. Yapstor and Matu pushing back. Miracle's Sven. GH will go for the TP away, makes it out before anything's there.
I love what Matt is doing. He's just chasing Sven, trying to get a bash on him or force him to use either BKB or his ulti and then just back off. These two cores on Team Secret, very slippery, very hard to kill if there's no control coming out from Puck's silence.
And that is all the control. The Ben Stormhammer is such sort of a weak initiation tool with the travel time of it. There's so many counterplay that Secret can pull off in time. It's all on Weehard to make those jumps, and he just hasn't found the opportunity to make those sort of fight-defining jumps at this point of the game.
They were prioritizing farm on Timbersaw instead of Puck. It was like more doing stuff, moving around the map because Sven was taking a lot of farm, and we can see that in terms of net worth.
It's just sort of a cleanup job now for Secret as they take away the final tier 2 towers. The bottom lane's gone. They still have the one up top to go for. They'll head back, and it will be Zai's mission to start shoving the lane all the way around.
Zai always on mission impossible.
So he's sort of like he's a lone ranger, likes to play alone. I mean, and this is your standard successful Zai scoreboard. 210. I think probably at one point of the game is probably 181.
You forgot 8. That's the death number.
Yeah, you know, the higher the deaths on Zai, the better he's playing. Midnight. Updoor is Nigma finding an opportunity off the back of smoke to start to pick apart the supports. Can they catch on to Puppey? The Dream Core has been used, and this is sort of the problem. Matsu's going to try
zoning Chrono
play, but GH, he's not messing around. He's going to ensure that Miracle is safe, takes him out immediately, worried about any sort of further follow-up from Secret. As that is the Chrono gone, it's sort of a bit of a sigh of relief for Nigma now that they can look to make these plays maybe once more. They've got the ability to get further smokes. That was successful in at least taking away one of Secret's members. Not a big one, of course, just the support Yapzor. The 3 cores are more than fine. That's where the real problem comes for Nigma.
They're still in this game. And if he finds a good pickup, but the kiting potential, that's what I'm afraid of. You have these 2 cores who are pretty hard to kill. You have a 4-staff, a Necro, also pretty hard to take down. With all the items, also Craggy Coat for some extra armor.
Down lane, on the bottom.
Shortest timber chain in history.
Puppey, for the stop with the cookie. Extra yours control, but time for the rest of Secret to come across here. We are going to look to try and jump into the backline to do the startup, but already the BKB's there. Matthew holds his ground. He'll try to see if they can get these kills, but the Reaper's time won't be enough. This Sven is taking so much damage from Nisha. He's just too big on the morph. The right click has far too much for Nigma to deal with right now. As Secret, they just clean up with ease. Their lineup plays itself so much more nicely than the heroes that Nigma have here. As every single engagement just seems to be impossible for Nigma when Secret has the full 5-man mind control. He's got no escape.
What a surprise.
This game is seeming to be in the books for Secret.
Once you get that Scotty, Sven is pretty much crippled, can't move in a team fight. And they're doing a good job now focusing the Sven. If they have eyes on Io, of course they're going to focus him, but Sven can easily go down as well.
This high ground is falling. This bottom lane's going. They've got the fortification Secret. They see an opportunity to move mid and to continue the bloodshed over towards Kuro. He's glimmered, but Nisha has no mercy to spare. As there'll be a buyback from Miracle, but he's without his Timbersaw, his jet. Not that it feels like it matters at this point with how far Nigma are behind. All they can do is sit back and watch Secret take out a full second set of barracks. Secret, they've just been masterful in the way. They knew exactly how Nigma was going to want to play this game. They turned up with a draft that was very clear on the timings they wanted to work towards. Secret, they kept their call. They made sure they lost nothing other than a tier 3 inside their own base. They brought the entire game for Nisha to get out as he does. He's so good at reading the positions. Whenever a team is trying to play as Nigma is, going in with these 5-man pushes, Nisha always knows what areas of the map he can go to and make sure that his farm stays consistent with a team that's not only getting kills early, but also getting objectives. Nisha, he never falls far behind.
They're still respecting Team Nigma. They planted 2 nice observer wards to see any kind of movement coming out from Nigma.
Coming straight back in, Matu.
They just wanted Chrono to be back online.
For a Chrono to end this game. Right. He's out, a little too far forward. Matu's going to jump in. He's caught Kuro. He's caught Miracle. Over they go to the Sven. He's got any safety to get him out in time. He cannot. Miracle dead for over 2 minutes. That was the Chrono to end the game. Secret now run down mid. The tier 4 will fall. Nisha standing
Popping
tall,
the mangoes.
holding them in the base, killing the mangoes, killing off the edge. At least trying to get a bit more. Oh, Nisha! Okay.
Killing himself. Sorry about that one.
I don't know if this is going to matter, but Nisha does dive to the fountain. Secret, they are just focusing the base. I don't think Nigma's going to be able to push them up for. Are they a stolen dream coil from Yapsor? Issues catching out the two of them. Troy's going to be back up in 10. Zai's getting a little bit low. They do have the talent. They actually bust down Zai. Okay, Zai and Nisha butt that. Matthew desperately just trying to finish this game. He says, boys, stop clowning around. This game is ours. I'm hitting the Ancient, but he's actually not going to be able to do it.
Morphling
Nigma
is coming. He needs 5 seconds to be back in the base.
All right, Nisha, can he put an end to this? He can. Weehar's gone. Over to the edge and they go once more. And jump is there from Weehar. Does buy back, but the ankle. Secret will clean up this game 1 as GG is called.
These kind of mistakes, they happen from
Dire team ban. Team Secrets turn
What will
to
the
ban.
second game of this best of 5 grand finals have in store for us?
Dire
We're gonna
team
find out.
ban.
Welcome back. Tug of War, Matt, Moon, Team Secret, and Nigma. One team will take home $130,000. If you come second, you get 60. Still nice, but there is a definite advantage to coming first here. And of course, on top of just having a championship to your name is always fantastic. I'm here with Kyle and Gods. Guys, what are we expecting or maybe hoping to
10
see from this
seconds
second game?
remaining.
Maybe what does Nigma need to change in order to get the second game, other than banning out
Turn to
Morphling?
ban.
Yeah, the Morphing's a big problem. I liked how Nigma played. They came in with a plan. They showed some gusto, going for something that was so kind of all-in-ish, where they were on a timer. I mean, I think they could have won that game end of the day. I don't think they should walk away feeling like, oh, we had the wrong idea or we had the wrong strategy. We got out. I mean, they obviously got a bit outplayed, but
Yeah, it's still though it does
10
feel a bit
seconds
like
remaining.
maybe I just feel like Secret are still the
5
better team,
seconds remaining.
and much like Nigma was against P, and you can say if Nigma's still better here, I think it's an uphill battle for them to take a game, let alone the series.
Yeah.
I like that they came out with a little tweak that IO Tiny strategy, Ben, and I appreciate that Secret were willing to play against the Wisp, right? We've taken away
Dire
what you've
team
shown
back.
is kind of busted and wins games.
Yeah.
Try and get it with that innovation. They were close to your point, but not quite enough to home, and we'll see how things change in this second game. Wisp is still making it through thus far, but once again, Secret take out the Tiny.
Yeah, at least this time round, though, Nigma is playing from the Dire side. That is their preferred side, so maybe a little bit more comfortable for them. They have played most of the games recently on that
10
Dire side.
seconds remaining.
Who knows? Maybe it helps them as well. And they do first phase
5
Morphling.
seconds remaining.
Did want to see.
Yeah.
it's always funny when you see a hero first phase banned when it wasn't first phase picked. It was the last pick of the draft.
Yeah.
And they're still saying, oh, we got to address
Yeah.
this more.
Makes sense. This is like the Secret special, right? Plus, it's even more powerful in their hands because they have multiple people that excel on it. It's another reason if I'm Secret,
Turn to
you can let the
ban.
Wisp stay. The Tiny is threatening because you don't know who's playing it. It's threatening without the Wisp, terrifying when they have it, and it could be a Weehaw hero, a GH or MC, anybody. And that's not something you want to allow your opponents to first phase.
Yeah, it's also, of course, Nigma having first pick, so they have the luxury of banning some heroes that you would otherwise be
10
worried about
seconds
first
remaining.
phase pick for Secret. Feels like at the moment thinking
5
about whether they
seconds
should still
remaining.
ban out the IO or maybe a Chen banned out here. What do you guys reckon? Slardar still in the pool, Nixus, Facet,
Slardar,
all these
Nick-
heroes still
yeah.
in.
I mean, the heroes we just don't talk about because they're always banned, like the Nix
Yeah.
and the Slardar.
Is-
That's what they're talking about, probably.
They first phase Snapfire. Was that the initial ban from Secret?
That was the first ban, and
Yeah.
last game it was
First pick.
pick.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that is the right way to go, because while we agree like on the Slardar Nix, the thing is there's replacements for what these heroes do in the game. There's no 5 position that has that kind of power level, and I'm glad that Secret take it out now that they're not.
Dire team.
I don't know if I agree. I was about to say, Slardar to me, there's no hero that does what Slardar does. This hero, to me, I would much, if I had to choose between letting my opponent's first pick Snapfire or Slardar, I'm giving them Snapfire every.
I get that. I just feel like you can
Secrets
address
turn
what
to
Slardar
pick.
does a lot more easily than the counterpoint. But they will Wisp again, this time first phasing it. It'll be curious to see if they change the partner. I think Gyrocopter is a possibility.
Or if they first to the Medusa. If they want Iron
Ooh.
Medusa, you have to first to it because that was banned out last game. So maybe they say we really want to get a hero that suits our style, suits Mirror.
10
Yeah, and
seconds
I really like
remaining.
that Nigma, they've sort of adapted what I'll call the
5
mathematically
seconds remaining.
busted strategies in a way. We saw them with the Lifestealer consistently going this Armlet, Desto, Basher build, and then Medusa going Mantine. No one's had the balls to try the ladder strat in an event yet,
Team
but
Secrets turn to
they did. They crushed with it. I liked it. A lot from Secret too. What do you do to deal with Wisp? Well, 1-to-1 counter it, remove regen from
And
the game. pick the
Timbersaw
AA.
is
Yep.
preventing that to be picked up as well. We have seen Mind Control being very comfortable. And also a pick for Nigma that they sometimes can flex with, because obviously we plays it as well.
10 seconds remaining.
Wait,
And
this-
that- yeah.
You mean Secret?
Talking about the
5
Timbersaw.
seconds.
Oh, duh.
Dire team pick.
Yeah, makes sense.
Dire team
The
ban.
Bad Rider.
One of the most
And
successful
there's-
heroes
I
of the
hear-
tournament. Lifestealer.
Yeah, you hear it. You knew it was
Yeah.
coming. the moment you saw the bat, and this is what we were talking about. Like,
I want to see that hero last game. I thought, even though it's not an IO partner, I think if they had that instead of Sven, their draft is actually better.
The thing is, why isn't it an IO partner, right? If you think about the new Wisp, he's just gonna provide bonus, just makes your hero better and stay alive longer. And Lifestealer, it's one of those
remaining
guys that, you know, maybe you get him 20%, but if he's still living, you pop Rage the open wounds, you know, this hero's gonna still eat you alive.
Especially against the Bat Rider, it's been a go-to for Nigma.
What are they banning out? The Void?
Razor Void banned on the side of Nigma, and the Oracle banned out on Secret while they're thinking about their ban pick combo.
The Oracle IO is the combo they ran one game. You just spam healing the IO while he tethers your carry. It's this domino effect of heals. And yeah, Secret saying that's a cheesy OP mechanic we're not going to let you have.
Yep. We got to be thinking about illusion cores for Secret. I think a late pick TA is also a possibility. They could perhaps even do themselves if they'd like. The Bat Rider provides a ton of kickoff. And I like the AA for many reasons, even against the Lifestealer to an extent, because your ability to heal within
Team Secret's turn
the hero often does quite a bit of, especially with that open wounds. And they pick Timbersaw themselves. Perhaps to deny it a bit, but it is very, very good against the Wisp.
Yeah, it's great against Wisp and against Lifestealer as well.
It'd be interesting to see where it sends some of the other heroes like Bat Rider. Is a flexible support or core.
That's why I feel like the first two bats the possibility for this team. Because if you have a good lane matchup, sure, it's a Die hero now. Puppy will play it as a 5. You're still gonna land lasso.
For all we know, it's gonna be ancient separation. You know, they can mix it up. Don't think that will happen this game around, but we have seen them be flexible like that in the past as well. What kind of answer are we looking for? What kind of boxes do we need? Answer the Timbersaw, because I know Lifestealer. Ooh, the Nyx Assassin is still in the pool. Obviously, still good against Bat Rider.
A very, very good pick here. I will say, weak in the laning phase against both heroes, though. It is a natural Spirit Vessel buyer, which someone is going to be wanting to pick up against the Tim. And in general, to your point, it's so good, such good value here. All three of these heroes are going to deal damage in ways that you can't really avoid hitting the Carapace. And it's a good hunter, which is really what you want. You think about how Wisp plays, this effectively creates a threat of 4 heroes around the map at all time, because an Invis Nyx plus the relocate could potentially pounce behind any one of the remaining 2 Nigma heroes in the lane. And another Rubik for Yapzor. No surprise there. Although, that does lock either Bat or AA to a core.
Yeah, that's perhaps the surprise here. But at the same time, you don't know Bat's going to be a core. You don't know whether it's mid, off lane, Timbers to play all 3 lanes effectively.
5 seconds
They can still use that final pick of the draft as a mid laner or a mid or safe laner, because they need their big, probably niche here.
Yeah. And it makes sense, because you still preserve, in a way, the openness of the draft, but there's no reason to get super fancy to be like, oh, they won't know it's with this Bat's core. No, you just want to last pick your niche hero. And any deception you can set up is the...
Or, you know, we go back to the old school days of the Matu carrying on AM kind of style. A Matu style that does come up every now and then with Secret. That's what's scary about Secret. They play so many different styles.
Yeah.
It's not just neat.
Team Secret
Carrying games like it used to be.
You're preaching to the choir. That's, to me, why they're so scary now. Because Man, he'll play, as you say, the hyper carry. He'll play a Lone Druid. He'll play a Huskar. Niche will play a Huskar. They'll both play Morph. They'll all in push you. And Zai specifically can play games as bottom net worth or top net worth. Doesn't matter, they're still going to feel comfortable, and that's why they're so challenging to take out. The Dark's here for Mind Control. He dominated with this on the previous series, and I really like the way they play around the hero. And it just, again, if you look at this, when Nigma looked best, around this Lifestealer when it was a 4P1, that's what they've got.
It's such a different look from both. With Nigma, you know what's coming. Here's the hero's pick, you know which player's playing it, which lanes it's going to, you know exactly what their playstyle is. With Secret, every pick that comes out, you're like, oh, this could go different ways. I wonder who's playing it. I wonder what strat Secret's doing. I don't know.
Yeah, I think one thing that is very important for Nigma in their draft so far is that they will try to apply a ton of pressure again, and they have the opportunity with the vacuum, with Impale. They will nail that combo. Yeah. Like, they are such good combo players.
That was missing from the previous years. I know they won those games, but how many times did Mind Control hit like 3 or 4 man back walls just without a real reliable follow-up stun.
Light Strike Array as well in the series that they had the Lina with. As long as they have a follow-up, they are a team that will hit that. Wind Ranger ban.
It's just it's easier with the four. I really like when your four position is the one you're playing around, because you kind of have that comfortability where in the laning phase you're playing together and then throughout the game. And when you have these two stuns, you're not forced to like play this Lina holding it at all times waiting for the Vec. Now last pick for Secret. Very nice TA game. If not for that Dark Fear.
I think he is a bad hero.
I kind of do too.
TA.
Especially when you're just going to get ran at by a halberd lifestealer. Really.
Yeah.
10 seconds remaining.
Most of the teams here, I feel like, have felt similarly. We haven't seen much any TA really at all.
5 seconds
The last ban for Nigma was the anti-mage, so they're expecting a hyper carry. It will be a Matu carry, it will be the Juggernaut.
Wow.
Okay.
This is still not necessarily a good Dota hero. However, traditionally in the Jug vs Lifestealer matchup, you always want to be the Jug.
I think we're seeing the hero come back with people learning about this Mask of Madness build where you can actually power farm pretty well. You don't have, obviously, the Battle Fury days are long gone. You can't go that item first on Jug. But the Mask of Madness gives you at least some ability to flash farm and stay up there top net worth and be active as a fighter early on.
And there's no method of canceling spin TP. That's huge. And to me, that's what makes Jug like really powerful in that he'll just be able to spam push out waves. If you don't stun him from Fogged, he's not going to die. And this Nyx, the Wisp, the Lina, they're very susceptible to just getting Omni Slashed. I like what Secret's got, but their Timber has to have a very good game. Otherwise, they have no real front
10
line.
seconds remaining.
I like what Nigma's got too, though. You know, this is Nigma walking away happy with every hero player combo they've got. This is a pretty much, other than maybe the Kuro Nyx, is not something they've done this term, I don't believe, or it's not really at least a comfort pick for him. But 4 out of 5 of these heroes is just pure Nigma draft.
Again, I did not do this math. Okay. The other brother, the engineer, says that Lifestealer with Armlet, Deso, Halberd, Basher is busted. You add Ion Shell, Surge, and a Wisp tethering. I haven't seen Nigma lose with this hero. I'm not certain. I think I like what they've got.
All right. We've also not seen Matu lose on the Juggernaut. We'll see with that. I am curious about one more thing in this draft. We saw in the previous game there was a little bit of a clock on the game. Is there for either team a clock? Like, is there a team that will, like, not get guaranteed, but will win late game if it goes late?
Late game. I know Relocate's an incredible mechanic, but at the end of the day, AA and Batrider provide just insane value into the super late game. Removing regen and one-to-one, like, best pick-off in the game. If this goes 40, 45 plus, the Secret start to get a domination.
I think we're going to see Nigma try and push the high ground with 2-3 items on Lifestealer, similar as they've done. They want to go for that first Aegis, go high ground, take lane Rex.
All right, well, let's see what type of tempo they can set again this time around. Game number 2 coming your way. OD Pixel, Lacoste.
Thank you very much, Shiva. And yeah, I agree with some of what the panel is saying. Straight off the bat, for Nigma, this looks sort of like a draft closer to what they've been so successful with, right? They have this Lifestealer once again. Do Secret have enough answers for the Miracle Lifestealer?
I feel like this is the draft that Nigma wanted to have. If Team Secret didn't ban anything, they would end up with a draft like this for sure, because that's the way they've been playing. 4 Protect 1 have this one hyper carry, which is going to be a Lifestealer. I love the itemization that he goes for. Armlet, Deso, very effective. Get that Roche. I'm pretty sure Puppey has some kind of a solution for it, at least the way they drafted. Right? I mean, he knew what Nigma would pick. They were so successful with it over the past 3 days. And Mind Control, he might get the Ice Frog, the Nerf Dark here again, considering how good he's been playing on the hero.
Yeah, we've seen some sort of insane vacuum setups from Mind Control, sort of in that mid-game. Definitely a particular play you have to be wary of if you're Secret in this game. And Nigma, it's certainly, you know, it needs to be said that game 1, they were doing everything right at the start. They had this advantage, 13 minutes in that, make that mistake to push it a little too far. But, you know, Kuro, he's a smart man. He's going to learn from the mistakes of game 1. It's not going to happen again. If Nigma can get the ball rolling, get that early lead, they're not going to try and over-push it. They know their limits now against Secret after doing what they did in game 1 and losing that early advantage. And with this lineup, it should be relatively closer for them. Over on the other half for Secret, they finished this lineup with the Juggernaut, as the panel mentioned, sort of like an age-old hero that was considered the counter to Lifestealer. Does that still hold up in today's day and age, or is this hero just a kind of a sort of a different thing now in 2020?
If someone can make it work, it's Team Secret, the itemization that Matu went for. We can already see it, Mask of Madness. then he gets either SNY or that Crystalist. The most popular items on the carries and some of the meds, Void Spirit, Ember Spirits, which gives you that cheap damage plus a critical strike. Jug is great against the Lifestealer if there's no one around him, so jump and there's no save besides the reload. It's been a while since I saw Nisha playing Batrider.
Yeah. Interesting to see. I mean, I imagine Secret giving the priority position to the Batrider in order to make sure you do have this playmaker with a way to pierce the magic immunity of the Lifestealer as soon as you can.
And they should bring numbers on the Wii because Nisha will play aggressive, pretty easy to set up ganks with Rubik if he makes a rotation. And Timbersaw, he's a self-sustainable offlaner. This is one of the reasons why they're running a tri-lane. So if Rubik decides to move on the mid lane, it could be a pretty guaranteed kill, or if we does not stay ready, a lot of damage.
Yeah, very much. You know, every time that Nisha's able to get a good angle with the flame break, we are going to take a considerable beating, but good ways to trade damage back from a distance once he does manage to get to that safe area. He's
Oh, he canceled the salve. That's a big one.
An extra bit of HP taken away from Nisha. Actually doesn't have that sustain. The top lane, we've seen a lot of the games when have managed to roll away with the Lifestealer being these lanes where Miracle's just sort of been left alone. This time round with the heroes, you can imagine Secret. Ooh, I say they're not going to be in too much trouble. Zai, he's falling low here. Miracle and GH, they're just going to be able to roll up and take the kill against the 3 members of Secret.
They need to focus Io instead of the Lifestealer. Also, if they keep this tri-lane, the Timbersaw will not be that effective. A lot of XP will be shared in this lane.
Yeah, very slow levels indeed, unless they are able to find a Lifestealer, not something easy. It's got to be that Io. But you know that GH is positioning, it's going to be top tier. He's going to make it very hard for Secret to easily access him on the back of it all, as he constantly keeps himself in a position where Miracle's in between him and the enemy.
Hero lurking around the mid lane. Nothing he can do on the bottom. Mind control.
Oh, this time they get GH.
Yeah.
Up top, they are able to get rounds. He does try and help Miracle get aggressive onto the support Secret, but a bit of a bait and switch. Turn back, and Secret now able to get that first bit of action on this top lane
Radiant's
with the
middle
tri-lane.
tower.
Oh, mana burn on Kuro.
A little bit of cheeky body blocks as well to try and waste Nisha's time a bit more as he looks to get back towards mid. Puppy's going to head over, make sure that Nisha's not alone whilst Kuro hangs around with his eyes on the mid bat.
So bottom lane will just be a farm fetch for both of these heroes. Mind control just got his bottle. Gonna be sustained for mana and the HP for him. Meanwhile, Matu farming the lane and the jungle at the same time, not losing precious XP.
With the way that things are going around mid, Kuro, he's not going to be leaving this area anytime soon. Puppy can around.
Very annoying what Kuro is doing. Mana burn against Batrider, who's really limited on the mana and loves to spend it early on to put the pressure on the enemy mid laner.
Yeah, each and every bit that's taken away, making this lane that bit easier for Weehard to shove in more and more aggressively without the threat of Nisha trying to turn. Top lane Miracle actually gets nuked down. The two of them, they don't need Puppy. Yapsor and Zai, that's enough to kill off Miracle. GH just did not have the reserve to keep him alive.
I love that they moved AA from that lane, so Timbersaw can get level 3. Once you get that extra point in reactive armor, it's pretty hard to bring him down.
Down bottom, got a level 5 mind control against a level 1 AA. Doesn't want to dive on though. Will allow Puppy to live back towards mid. And Puppy's left. Nisha, he is alone. The Arcane Marine taken away in front of them. Light Strike Array will be duped. But Kuro and We are going to attempt to stay on target. He's got the Firefly back up as Nisha will be able to get himself over the cliff and back towards the safety of Yapsor. So the Kuro still got his eyes on him, but not enough mana or spell to use. And Nisha will live, but he's forced out of the lane, and more space is given to Weehar in the middle.
You mean more space for Yapsor on
I was
mid?
saying Yapsor steps in. It's similar how he was playing the off lane last game. It was like, Zai, step aside. This game, he turns up the mid and says, Nisha, I think you should take a walk back to base, sir.
Well, Zai usually is a sacrificial offlaner, but in this game, he is having such a good time. There's no way he's dying early on. The only one who can burst them is Lina once she gets to level 6. Check that replay.
Oh, it looks like after forcing Puppy back to the base, Puppy did come back out. Mind Control was able to get the easy kill because of that, having that incredible amount of level difference, of course, between Nigma's offlaner and In Secret position 5. And River, an attempt to go with the Omni Slash, didn't that? Do it. Yep, Kuro, he's gone, or is he? The fire. He's still got him. The movement speed's there. There's no way that Kuro gets out of that. Matu able to find a solo kill.
For a moment, I thought that's gonna end up the way it ends up in my pubs. You know, Juggernaut clicking on the ground instead of clicking move button.
Clean it up just in time, Matu. Stop, Zai. GH right back. It is this point. He's level 5. He knows how aggressive he can play. And we'll try and turn. Some tower goes upon him as well, but with the reactive armor built up, those 3 points in it, pretty impossible for these two to ever really threaten a kill. Uppy on the other hand, definitely a juicier target. They've got to be careful though, Nigma, with the 3 members back in this lane. Yapsor turns up once more. Ready to offer help if Miracle GH do start to go on Puppey. They look to try and separate GH. They pull him back. Tether is broken. He'll split up and then rejoin. Swing across Zai. Zai's going to look to dive. Cold feet from Puppey into GH. GH is going to get just outside the range of the proc, so he won't get frozen.
Under attack.
Playing it safe, making sure not to feed his life away. Obviously, the real threat's going to turn up in this lane for Nigma once Zai hits that level 6. He's got that extra burst and slow control to try and get GH.
Problem is, AA does not have a lane to go. He can't do anything on the bottom lane. The Darkseer top lane not helping too much, so he was stacking jungle a little bit. So he's gonna get the levels from that. Also mid lane also doesn't provide much if he tries to gank.
And we did head up to...
That's a big one.
Was top.
Batrider with the haste rune could easily gank the side lane or just get a good grip on V if he decides to show up.
Just one creep away from hitting the 6 and being able to get the point in lasso. And then, you know, you're right, whether it's a case of running up to one of the side lanes or being prepared with a TP to make a quick move. Nigma, they will see the haste is in the bottle, so they'll know to play with that in mind and make sure that if they do go for an aggressive play on a side lane, they are prepared to back out as soon as Niche is off the map. Sort of the peaceful for both teams on the bottom lane. Mind control, soaks in every wave. So does Matu and South. Top lane, things not quite as dreamy for Miracle as Zai.
Blows him up.
He really does. Just walks up. A chakram and a whirling death, and Miracle is gone mid lane. Nisha also able to find the pick off onto mind control. 2 big kills for Secret.
Look at the wards at the bottom. Nigma was prepared, but so was Team Secret with that one ward showing the rotation coming out from mind control. This Timbersaw is a huge problem right now.
Yeah, they're doing an excellent job, Secret, of tackling what's worked so well for Nigma when they play this lifesteal. There's so many games where Miracle's just got away with the free farm. Teams have just left him to his own devices. Put these offlane heroes up here that skip the waves. Secret, they've drafted in a way to make sure they do their best to slow down Miracle early. But Miracle, he's got a lot of backup now. Kuro, GH, and Weeha, in fact, mind control.
5 heroes
Turned up. They know that they've got to kill off site, and they'll do it. Nigma addressing the problem full force, and they will find success in killing off Zai.
Have they not learned anything from the last game? Killing Zai doesn't get you anywhere. Like, this man wants to die. Jokes aside, they need Lina to get the kill. I don't think command control was necessary to TP back to the top lane to secure that kill, which will result in a lot of damage, or maybe even a free tower on the bottom lane. Matu with that Mask of Madness, and look what he has queued up.
Oh yeah.
That Crystal is deep, efficient damage.
I mean, it works out, it really does. That 45 damage, you know, you take into account the percentage crit with that boosted amount of right click. It's a lot of damage, and suddenly a lane that is a little spooky to come into alone anytime the Omni slashes up. You've not got any way to break it or evade it or get back to creeps. Matu can do a decent amount of single target damage if you step forward. Mind control's back in the lane, feeling confident. This way pushing, he's trying to slow this down, doesn't want to let this tower go down too freely to Secret. Iron Shell's out. Matu plays it safe, Blade Fury to avoid any sort of damage coming in from that Iron Shell illusion from the wall. His mind control will be successful in pushing back Secret and making sure this tier 1 tower stays alive for now.
Lifestealer, good for that mixed damage. Maelstrom, efficient against the Timbersaw because physical damage is not that good against them. It will also increase his farming ability. Wave clear, which they... I'm not gonna say they lag because Darkseer will always be using the Iron Shell on the creep wave, and there's We, but you need to have some that's a nice one.
Perfect position for Weeha and GH to get the setup from the high ground. They'll be able to chase down Yapzor as well, get the two of them. Weeha doing exactly as required, playing aggressive on the map, utilizing the abilities of GH and Mind Control to chase these targets. Yapzor will turn with a cheeky stolen Laguna Blade, but not enough burst alone to threaten the life of GH. And this is exactly what you need to see from Nigma. Weeha getting active and utilizing this Lina on the side lanes to get these kills on heroes that for the most part have been uncontested for the laning stage. Both Zai and Matu, they need to be knocked off their game if Nigma wants to try and get ahead.
AA needs his level 6. He needs to find farm XP somewhere so they have this global presence. Matt just finished his Boots of Travel and he wants to play active. Like AA ulti plus Boots of... They can be anywhere on the map.
The lead overall does continue to creep up for Secret. Nigma need to get a better hold on these heroes on the side lane. They're going to look for the play up top. Kuro trips up dive with the spike carapace. And GH and Weeha, there is no stopping for these two boys. Everywhere they go, they're looking for carnage and they're getting the chaos they want. As Zai gone, every single time with this relocate, you'll see these, they're going to look for the moves. Secret, they've got to be a little careful how they do push out on these side lanes with these cores, because they are, for the most part, they're playing entirely alone. These relocate ganks will punish that.
It's easy to set up ganks like that. You have Nyx Assassin, Inter relocate play. Also, Nyx very efficient against the Timber, so I'm not saying his hard counter because Timbersaw already had the stacks, so you're not gaining new stacks, but you're keeping the ones you had before. Break, efficient plus the pure damage, of course, the recent change.
And that extra setup, extra sort of defensive ability as well. That item, the Yule Scepter, completed by Weeha, so suddenly a hero that's a little harder to play into if Secret do step forward. Whether it be Bat, Nisha trying to jump on one of his teammates, he'll be able to use up the Bat and set up the combo. And of course, now a lot harder for Matu to find an opportunity to go in with the Omni Slash on Weeha. Always be able to keep himself safe. Going for the full playmaking build too, queues up the Blink Dagger, knows how important it is as this Lina to just keep feeding off the heroes of Secret.
Zai a bit more careful. I mean, 3-4 heroes are missing.
Weeha. There's that Yule setup. They've got a lot of stun between the two of them. Kuro and Weeha locking him down. Laguna Blade comes in. Zai still not too tanky. Spike Carapace is outside. Tries to go for the escape, but the Carapace does prevail. Stuns him up. Zai's got a little bit of backup coming in the form of Puppey, and it is enough. Zai will live this time round. The hood of Defiance, giving him enough magic resistance to keep himself safe. As Nisha swoops across, Nigma keep the distance. Secret won't be able to find the counter kill. There's 4 heroes this time trying for Zai, and they won't manage to take him down. They were fortunate enough the last 2 times, but with this first sort of few items being done, Zai is beginning to become quite the problem.
Level 10 talent, 225 extra HP plus good on Zai, kept him alive. They're gonna get a kill. For a follow-up.
And he's gonna go for the lasso. Zai leading in with the shackle. He's going to GH. GH isn't gonna die in time. He will. They'll get the 2 supports. Secret, they'll look to chase for more. You know, Weeha's relatively low. Coming across, will be able to offer up a surge, get him into safety. Great 2-man stun from Weeha. Holds back Zai and Nisha. And Weeha's able to run away, thanks to the boost of Mind Control. Man's attention has been brought over towards this middle lane. He'll gear up with the boys and look to take mid. Weeha still around, able to start nuking them down, trying to hold on to his tier 1 tower for as long as possible, at least buy time for both Kuro and GH to get back into the game.
They're really limited on the tower damage at the moment. Batrider doesn't provide anything. Timbersaw can't throw his body. Jog, he can't really just go in and see the long range initiation from Lina. 11-10 talent is all running.
Nigma, I mean, what's the best point of call? If you're Nigma right now, who are you saying we need to kill? I mean, both Zai and Matumberman, of course, if he gets the Blade Fury off, these aren't easy heroes to gank. It really just seems like it's mainly down to the setup of Kuro to get them up.
Problem is, they don't have anything that goes through Blade Fury TP. Have a kill, they got Kuro.
An easy Omni Slash for Matu. And it looks like with that sentry placement around, if he did have the Vendetta to try and escape, it wasn't going to work. Matu running down Kuro, as Kuro was setting up for potentially one of those plays we're talking about, trying to find vision and an opening to get GH in with the relocate, bringing Weeha through. River, they'll find Puppey alone.
Puppey got a really late level 6, he just got it like a minute to go. Here comes Relocate.
See Puppy's trying to run over to the help of the rest of his team, but Mind Control will be able to stay on top. We'll see him back there indeed. It was the case underneath the sentry. No escape for Kuro. Do get Puppy. Can they find Matu as well? The Blade Fury's short to end. As Nisha and Yapso, they are here. Make sure that they can keep that job safe, but with the lasso, they certainly can. Dragging back one, Flame Break knocked back onto the other as Kuro will be chased down by Niche. Control looks to surge himself away. Dragon Slave off the mark, did have the
Still could, keeping him alive.
See what they've found. Knock back and a blast from Yapso. Stymie connects, the Fade Bolt takes him out. 10 to 8 Secret doing a good job of matching this pace that Nigma's so good with. They're keeping this lead against Nigma in the early game. 3K gold.
Full fight on Zai, so a lot of that damage from Nyx Assassin and Lina will be mitigated.
Incredibly hard to make any sort of play where Zai's around.
Under attack.
At least until Miracle starts to get his item build online and has some form of being able to offer up the right clicks. Mid lane, he's just getting brought down very low. Able to juke it, the two of them. Mind Control TP's in. Tier 1 tower down to under half health as Secret standing there. Zai knows that he's pretty much an unkillable beast right now. Nisha trying to separate him. Spike Campus will proc on him, but he's already able to get the lasso off. Dragging GH out there, but GH still finds the opportunity to tether back to safety. Matulaman commits to the Blade Fury though, finishes off the kill on Io, and now Secret can try and turn for more. Mind Control is going to be the focus. Miracle commits with the Rage.
That's not the target.
He just cannot do any damage towards Zai right now. They do not have the means to deal with this Timber Saw at this early stage with the lead that Zai's had. They're going across the Timber Chain. Zai's touchdown with the help of Matulaman, one of them. The opening slash. It's a perfect set of bounces. Miracle's got to run. Ice Blast will be easily juked. Miracle heads down to south as the Ice Blast won't connect.
Dire's middle tower
It's looking rocky for Nigma. The speed that they want to play it, it's getting knocked up this early. 17 minutes in, Secret's lead continuing to grow. What does Nigma do, look
Dire's middle
That's a tough question. They don't have the answer for this Timbersaw, who is extremely farmed. There's no pure damage. In the previous game, there was Rubik that can steal stuff from the Timbersaw. There's like no enchantments that Nigma loves to play, so they allow Timbersaw to get in. Now there's pretty much nothing.
Is much going to change when sort of Miracle has the halberd, or even at that stage, you're still looking to try and get this Life Stealer to an item on top of it before you can feel confident on making these 5-man plays as Nigma?
The way Nigma has for the past 3-4 days is have this Life Stealer who's extremely farmed, but right now he's not. Like Batrider has more farm than him at the moment because he was shut down in the lane. Is this the target to go for? I don't think so. 5-man rotation.
They kind of look at it. They're going to sweep a little deeper, as you say. They know they've got to find someone quicker to kill than Zai in the front. They do find Puppy in the trees, straight over the AA's out of it. And now to turn towards Yapso. Yapso, he's stunned up. They start the fight with 2 support kills. But already we are being focused. Nisha's in with the last of the wolf. Keeps himself defensively safe with the Yules. And he'll turn and run. Matu, straight down towards Kuro. With the Blade Fury, but Kuro's out of there with the Vendetta. Kuro can live. But Kuro, he turns for the last bit of help. He gets the stun off. Healing wars out. Have they got the damage to kill this chunk? Matu's there to run. Nisha picks up Weeha. Nisha, he's just cleaning up the backlines. Nigma will get the kill though on Matu. Matu's out of the game, but Nisha, he's still full HP and full trouble for Nigma. They've got to get rid of this bat. Surge up. Can they continue to chase Nisha with that Firefly? Too elusive. They cannot stay on top of them.
Ignoring Zai. I don't think you can do anything to this man. Nice wraparound from Nigma, getting these 2 supports. These are the kills that you need to get. Also forcing a buyback from Puppy in the previous fight. Like, you need to kill the Rubik. He's providing a lot of control. Whatever he steals from Lina, either LSA, either another nuke, will bring them extremely low. Juggernaut also did not pop the ulti in the previous fight.
Under attack.
That was a very nice attempt of a smoke from Nigma, getting in that wraparound, ignoring Zai, knowing that there's going to be support sat behind him. Still overall yet to really slow down this lead that Secret grows. They'll get out and reclaim this outpost down bottom, coming in about 30 seconds before the XP bonus will click in.
Also, they don't have that many stuns, so AA Blast are landing correctly, and heroes are so speedy. You have Surge, you have Lina with her pass, you have Io considered the last All right, you want to take a fight? Come fight us in the roast, where I can easily land a ulti.
They should be aware of this. There's no Heroes of Secret showing in the lane. Sure, Secret do have the superior ward coverage around this area. Nigma, they'll take what they've been given, finish off the tier 1 tower in the mid lane. But they're not looking to head anywhere over here anytime soon. This should be a very easy roast for Secret. And now suddenly on these cooking floors, you're going to have to do it twice. Last fight, they were able to take down Matuma Man. Will allow him to be the one to hold the Aegis for the next push that they'll look to make. And immediately off the back of Roche, they'll smoke up and start to look to take a fight against Nigma.
Radiant are scanning. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Another good initiation for Misha.
That's pretty much the perfect start to the fight. We are being found.
Want to hear a dad joke?
Go for
I always Nisha who has a good initiation.
Well, I don't know. What do you call an Nisha who has a good initiation?
Initiation?
Oh no. Oh no, Lacoste.
Radiant's bottom
I made myself laugh. That's what matters.
I'm sure
Sorry about that one.
I'm sure the fans are laughing at home.
Dire's middle tower.
No, he's not laughing right now, Nigma. This game's not looking fun for them.
Dire's middle tower
Getting rough.
has fallen.
Getting heavy. Secret. Sort of
Radiant's bottom tower
giving Nigma a bit of a
attack.
taste of their own medicine. It's 21 minutes in, and Secret, they're up to the high ground, starting to knock at the doors of Nigma. Nigma's got to respond. Secret will back off a little bit. This bottom lane does need to be pushed out. Matsu will be the one to get onto that. Straight down to bottom. He'll look to bring the third wave through for Secret. Itemization.
I'm glad that he changed the BKB. He needs to be careful about the spike carapace or Lina landing a stun. If he gets BKB, he can cut into backlines without problem. There's nothing that goes through spell immunity.
We go smoke time for Nigma. It's a tricky one. It is into this Aegis. But they know they've got to take risks. They're down. They have to look for the big plays, Nigma. They're over, but the sentry's there. Puppy's going to have vision. They're going to know that this is going to go down, but still, Puppy will be first. Nothing he can do to keep himself alive, but maybe they could turn and take kills in return. Kuro, he does split. Thanks to the Omni stat, he's only soaked up by himself. There'll be a buyback as well from Kuro. The stun there. It's just perfect. Secret Matters is chasing him with a Blade Fury. Yar's dead. He's not going to utilize his buyback. A quick relocate to the side does separate Miracle, but it's Nigma on the retreat. Another Yule's here to hold back Mind Control as Mind Control is left behind. GH just focusing on trying to get Miracle out of there. He'll split, tether back across the lift up from Yapso, holds him in place. Miracle's still very tanky, but does he have the damage? He's trying to find the support. He's trying to find Yapso, and he does get the Ruby, but GH will fall. It's Miracle and Kuro against the three of them with the rage ending. Miracle's got to play this fight smartly if he wants to have any attempt with anyone else. He does disarm the Jug, turns back over towards Nisha. Does still have a little bit of timing left on the TD. Rage is back up. He's trying to chase, but Nisha's into the trees. And with the Rage about to end once more, he's just trying to escape. Another Yule's Control. Kuro, has he got any stun to save him with? He does not. They'll kill off the Life Stealer. Kuro's left alone. He brought back for this attempt. It's not going to be a success as Kuro's dead for a minute. Nigma putting everything into that attempt to make something happen off the back of an ambitious smoke. It was a high-risk, potential high-reward scenario and something they really needed to look for, but it doesn't work out for them, and they continue to fall further behind.
The problem is this Timbersaw can do whatever he wants in a team fight. Also, Yule Scepter, dispelling Iron Shell, dispelling that Surge once they start the retreat. Juggernaut killed only position 5 Nyx Assassin who fought back, so ulti was not that efficient. If he gets ulti on a better target in the next team fight when they have no save, it could be crucial if there's even gonna be a next fight.
Look at do vacuum onto two of them. Trying to focus their efforts onto Matsu, but still with that Aegis, they have so much of that hero to work through if they really want to take him down the twice. He'll be able to simply back off. Tier 3's down. The base now exposed for Nigma.
This is the item you want to get on your Timbersaw. Heaven's Halberd against this single core lineup from side of Nigma, just the cripple life stealer. It also amplifies all your healing.
A bit of percentage booster. And a lot to make sure that Zai goes from unkillable to unkillable. If that is even a word, I'm sure you've got to invent it for Zai's sake this game. He's so big, he's so tanky. There's very little they can do to bring him down. Now, outside of the base, Nigma trying to find something, but the Lasso there immediately they've caught got to help Miracle. Miracle is out. GH will save him. Miracle will live for now. They'll turn their attention towards Kuro. Kuro would not be quite as fortunate. Nix's dash is dead. Mind control attempts to surge away, but again, these Yule Scepters, as you mentioned, just ruining any attempt for Mind control to play out of there. He does still have the invis. The glimmer. Him onto two. Matu immediately Blade Fury. Stays on top of the target of Mind control. Will surge around once more. Who can they find? Zai? Yes, you down low. Heroes trying to finish up the kill, but Nisha finds Mind control. They have got the light struck away onto the bat. Bat falling low, but the Firefly still up, so he can get over the cliff, get away from Miracle. Miracle jumps into the safety of the siege creep to try to escape, but Matu is deep inside the base, on top of them all. Buybacks are coming out from Nigma, but they're hemorrhaging lives, losing heroes. What more can be done to stop Zai? A secret. They do trip up Zai with the spike carapace.
Another one.
Zai falls back. Can they save him, Secret? This is going to be a huge kill for Nigma, and they'll find it. They do manage to shake Secret up just a little bit.
These were the two buybacks from Nigma just to save the tier 3 tower. Also, I don't think you should be using Laguna on that Timber Saw. It just tickled them. Batrider with the Crash to Bot Blink. I mean, for BKB, he can do whatever he wants in the backlines. Find the target that he wants to go for.
Some sort of a defense from Nigma, and the ability for Miracle to get his next major item done. The Mjolnir is complete. So at least an additional extra bit of damage output with how much has been hitting him in this fight. There is going to be a huge amount of procs from that active shield if he gets in. But obviously still many answers that Secret do have for that damage output. Having the completed pipe on Zai, as we've seen this whole game, has made it so hard for Nigma to start the fight off with quick kills.
So the kiting potential will be really hard to play against some teams. You have this healing where you have a 4-step. I also saw Zai. Up one.
No, up for Weehaw. He brought back, so he's dead for 75. A long old time. GH turns towards. He's just going to split from the rest of his team and make sure the rest get out of there. In fact, they're already ignoring GH. They know that they don't need to kill the IO. They can win the game by closing up these kills on the other cores. Mind control. It's a nice 3-man vacuum wall, but that's all it is. Nothing else to throw out there as Nigma will lose 2 cores. Secret can now start to try and push in this bottom lane, which has been pushed all the way around to their tier 2 tower. So likely that Nigma will have everyone back in the game before Secret meet the high ground once more. Miracle throughout this just trying to use the space mid to get his next item done. The only core right now on Nigma that has some sort of semblance of farm.
They don't have the answers for Blade Fury Jug. Maybe on Batrider, and Zai can also do whatever he wants. He cuts into backlines, gets the vision on all the heroes, then Batrider goes in, finds a target that used the buyback in the previous fight. Now they're gonna start attacking your Raxus.
They are. Nigma, what can they do to push this one back? 10 seconds, no Weehaw, so a huge amount of deep push is gone. Looking to find on a Miracle, pops the rage, but already GH is focused intently. The ice
no buyback on it.
Destroys the IO. Over they go to Mind Control, and Beth will be there for Miracle to try and help out, but the stun catches them all. Over towards Kuro. Spike Carapace will save it. Weehaw's back in the game. They're looking to try and take down the supports as Miracle commits with the rage.
They're forced out.
Towards Puppey, gets the healing warp, but as soon as the rage ends, Miracle knows he has to retreat. Back over towards the Rat. Secret continue to push. Weeha's found once more. A little too far forward. They just cannot deal with the pressure that Secret's applying. They'll lose off Kuro. As they know, Kuro's the only one left. But then again, there's not much they've got left here at all, Nigma. As Secret, they know that they can look to close down this game. So onto the tier 4s they go. Nigma just with no means to push back Secret's lineup.
And it's time to call it. It's time to call it. Darkster still has the wall, so they're gonna try one more fight. The problem is Life still not dealing damage. This 2 heroes who have pretty much infinite armor. Saw and the Juggernaut. Nice combo.
It's a good setup for Yamsor. Just makes the cute counterplay. The Stolen Impale thrown back in response. A second Rax will go down. No doubt about it. Nigma not yet to tap out. Maybe they want to give it one final attempt. Nisha is playing close to the fountain. We did see at the end of game 1, Nisha did die to the fountain. Maybe that's what Nigma's playing for again here. But I don't know if he's going to make that mistake once more here in game 2. As the second tier 4 starting to fall. Nigma, one final attempt, but the lasso's there. They've caught Miracle. Miracle, can he get a rage up in time? He cannot. The chain stuns are out. Nigma, they lose heroes, they lose the game. This one's over, done and dusted, as Secret will take the second game. Nigma, they just weren't able to get a foot in this time round. They had this draft, they had their life steal, but they just wanted to play it.
Yeah, they fell into a trap. Puppy knows how to draft, knows how to play this matchup, because they were having a tri lane. If you compare how other teams approached this Miracle's lifestealer, they let him free farm in the laning.
5 seconds remaining. Team secrets turn to ban. Dire team ban. Team secrets turn to ban. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Five days of Dota 2 has led us to this point. Grand finals, Team Secret, Team Nigma, and Team Secret is 2 games up in the series here in Tug of War Mad Moon. If they win one more, and you guessed it, they will be the champions. The question is, can Nigma put a stop to them? Because they look downright unstoppable. We're gonna talk about their chances and what they can do. I'm here with Capitalist. I'm here with Kyle. Gentlemen, we have not seen Secret lose a series in a very, very long time. What is Nigma gonna do to break the streak?
5 seconds remaining.
I would pull out something new. The only concern I have right now with their drafting is it's far more rigid. Who not just consistently win, but they're doing it differently. They've got an incredibly diverse hero pool to the point where they're beating people in just completely different ways on a game-to-game basis. Nigma finds a way to win, and then they try it again until it's solved, and then they go on to something new. I'd like to see them perhaps pull out some of more of Wii's specialty heroes.
Okay.
Visage as an example, perhaps even the Pugma. As the crowd is hoping we get.
Yeah, they want more Dota.
For sure.
I must say, this crowd has been absolutely amazing. I believe the tickets were free to get in, and there was a line starting this morning, and if you wanted to get in, you had to wait for other people to get out.
It was a long line.
Yes, and then there was an extra line, because obviously it's a venue, and then around the seating area there's still a little bit of a hallway. There was a line there as well to get into the actual seating area. It's crazy actually out here. It's amazing. We are in the draft. Once again, Secret have left IO in the pool. The question is, will they give it a shot themselves? Or will Nigma, for the 3rd time in a row, try it out? It will not be able to get the Tiny with it.
I don't think you should. It's obvious Secret are very comfortable with this Rubik against the Wisp. They like going aggressive into the offlane with it. It's more just Yapstor. He's just one of the best Rubiks in the world, if not the best. It's hard to say. It's one of those heroes that the game you're watching, the Rubik go off and you're like, God, he's the best at this. And really, it's just a lot of people equal in regard. I think you gotta do something different. And if you're gonna play against Rubik, I again point to the Visage. Minion creep heroes. Give me a Mind Control Beastmaster. Give me a, maybe even a Lycan. Who knows? But I think that those HOD, and then not an Enigma. That's not the same, but Visage.
So it's, I think it's interesting the way that Secret are dealing of IO Timber. Like last time around, they were a little bit more assured about it because it was first big IO, so they could AA right away. Here they grab Rubik, who is still good against the Timbersaw. But simultaneously, you're not committing too much. If it ends up being other than the Timbersaw, like now the Leshrac, then fantastic. You still have like really.
Yeah, and it's a different, you're not as afraid of an AA either now, because Leshrac kind of runs at the enemy. You're going to buy a BKB, and you just do so much damage that against 2 squishy supports like Rubik KA, you'd really have nothing against him once you got that spell immunity. However, I will say Rubik's excellent against Lesh. All the spells you steal are excellent, especially if you get the stun. It becomes an instant cast, 3-second AoE stun. Like, that's nuts.
You don't have room for Nyx, though, with the Rubik pick.
I don't think you need it.
Team secrets turn to
go for the instant morphling. Okay, these 2 heroes. Oh, it's the same as what you just said for the Rubik. Like you watch that hero and you see the limits that the players, Yapsor and Nisha, take it, and it's phenomenal. And you wonder why you don't see it first phase pick more often. I want to take you back to what we said at the end of the previous game, where we basically strongly suggested to Nigma to let the IO go. But are you okay with it being picked up third time in a row? Like, was the IO not the problem, or the pairing with the IO? What
remaining?
You know, perhaps this is more of that experimentation, right? Try different Wisp partners, see if you can add anything to the repertoire.
You want to practice that in a grand finals?
I wouldn't personally, and I expect they'll have some kind of pocket prepared. I think you got to be thinking about banning Meepo if you're Team Secret. You're going up against last pick Nigma, and I'm looking at this Morphling against Meepo, not the greatest matchup. And I'd like to see that be the style that Nick to execute. They're much more comfortable with this Wisp in a go high ground end game 15-20 minutes in, but they've yet to find anything to do that except the time.
It's not the greatest Wisp partner, but
10 seconds remaining.
Is Timbersaw still in the pool?
5 seconds remaining.
Got to be thinking about that as well. If I'm
for either
both
team.
of these teams. Yeah, good point. I wouldn't like it as much for Secret. I think that Team Liquid proved at the previous major that Lesh beats easily. There's just, it's one thing if you see a Wisp Lifestealer, but it's kind of different timings. Like, you see a Lifestealer, you know that in the early to mid game, the damage output of the enemy draft isn't going to be scary. When there's a Leshrac, all of a sudden, they can add so much firepower in selections that your Timber might just get run over. It's more of a hero, I think, countered by the overall composition of enemy than just one hero, with the exception of perhaps like an AA or an OG.
Dire team pick.
Hawk ban. Find out what discussion you feel like they're having right now. Which heroes?
Guys, how the hell are we gonna beat Nisha?
Team Secret's turn.
They're just looking over at we. They're like, you got a hero, right? Like, you got a hero that can beat this in lane, because nobody's been able to do it so far.
I know you asked that in the green room as well. Like, what do you play against Nisha Morphling mid? Like, Weeha has the whole draft to think about what he's gonna play. There's still obviously the chance that Secret's gonna swap it around. We know Matu plays it as well.
Yep.
But how do you
5 seconds
deal
remaining.
with the Nisha Morphling? Maybe you gotta duolate it.
Well, we'll find out. So far, a lot of teams have been having trouble.
Yeah.
I like the Oracle pick. We've seen this synergy with the Wisp. It's a style thing. I guarantee you Curl's going to look a lot more comfortable on this hero, and it also sets up their win condition. Bam, the heal on the Wisp as he tethers the guy hitting the building. It's also really nice synergy with the Leshrac, who traditionally needs help surviving the middle of fights. He wants to be fully in the fight, not playing on the outskirts, and an Oracle Wisp behind him helps him do just that. Also, you're playing against the Morphling. To your point, Chiefs, maybe you just got to play up tempo. This draft so far for Nigma can certainly do that.
And that's the thing that they tried in the first game as well, right? They tried to outpace Secret, and they were very close to do so. Couple change.
Yeah.
The difference.
You got to be careful not getting baited into maybe taking the Timber. You know, the ET themselves. You know, it's crazy as Secret. The thing, they're like, you ever seen the movie Invasion of the Body Snatchers?
What? No.
They're the remake. Doesn't matter. They are so good at so many heroes that they can look at a hero like Nigma earlier today, you know, and yesterday they picked this ET. They show, hey, this is a really good hero and it can be played multiple lanes, multiple roles. I guarantee you, Secret picking that Elder Titan are comfortable on that as a core just as much as they are for Puppey, perhaps, if needed. And that's a huge benefit to the team. They don't really need to scrim or even really practice too much to fully understand a hero concept and bring it into the
We've
draft.
seen it core outside of a Meepo matchup, though.
No, we have not.
But Zai's played it. Zai's 100% played it. I'm not certain if it was in a match, but I know he's done it in pub.
But then also Zai used to be a support, so he...
At this point, I mean, I would say Nisha can play anything. He'd be the morph, but Matu as well could be that morphling. Another reason that Secret, unlike other teams, can get away with first, is that both cores are equal.
Taking their time. And we've seen the IO Oracle combination before. It's very good with saves. very
Team
good.
Secret's turn to pick.
You have extra saves with this as well. I was thinking about OD, but we have Beastmaster
Dire
coming
team
out
back.
here.
I like it.
But it is protecting that one hero. We don't have that one hero yet. Or is Leshrac
Correct.
that one hero?
We'll
That
see.
big.
That's
Well,
just so good with the morph, so good with
Yeah.
the ET, excellent against the Beastmaster. I like the idea Nigma is going for. I feel like this Beast hero, both to provide vision and to be able to split the map. When Nigma looks good, it's when they're playing in the corners. They need a
10
hero like Beast to be able to do that. But right now, I look at this secret draft and I'm terrified. And this is
5
likely a
seconds
Matu
remaining.
morph now, Nisha Kunkka, but that doesn't really give me a sigh of relief if I'm hoping for.
Yeah, they just picked up some like pretty tanky team fighters and
Team
a little bit of
Secret's
catch as
turn
well.
to ban.
That all is right in the world.
Oh, yeah.
Your secret. If you're afraid of being run over by Nigma, you resolve that with your last 2 pickups. You still have a lot of options. There are a lot of team fighter offlaners. Rush.
Is there any risk still of
10
cheese
seconds
here?
remaining.
For sure. I think if I'm secret though, you go for
5
something
seconds
to your
remaining.
point. I think a free Pango game at the moment for Zai. If he wants to go that route. You don't know your matchup, so I'd like to ensure that whatever hero he picks, don't allow it to get screwed in the laning phase. And even go for a Centaur. The whole pool really is open for him. For Nigma, I think it's got to be something special. The Medusa, is that still in the pool?
Yep.
Troll.
Yeah, one or the other. Oracle Troll, another liquid special. I think that's the sort of thing I like, because you already have the natural steroid and the self-sustain, so you can't kill the troll, and if he stays alive long enough to fight, he's just going to kill everything. Plus, you shred buildings, which is nice when you have to back it up.
Not, if they would go for the troll, it's not very heavy on the old team fight,
Secret's
something
turn
that
to
Secret
pick.
is
Dire team
quite okay on. They pick the Dragon Knight, get some Tower Push, they ban out a Husker.
Okay, that is likely then a DK mid Zai Kunkka. Or vice versa, who knows?
I'd say there's not a lot of
choose
offlanes.
your hero.
Ooh, they still go for the OD, which means that the Leshrac is the steroid hero.
I really would have preferred a physical damage hero. Their tower damage is now very limited. It's effectively just the Leshrac, and you're on a bit of a clock. I know OD owns the morph, but that just is up until the BKB timing.
This is also something has been doing for the last 2 patches. If you just go back through, anytime they matched up against a team and that team picked up a sustained offlaner, one of those tanky boys, and then grabbed a another tanky mid, then they just immediately picked up OD.
Yep.
Right? Because this
10
concept
seconds
of
remaining.
the drawn out team fights where you in prisons, build up the
5
stamina.
seconds
Strength
remaining.
heroes are low on mana, like these sort of things. It all works in the favor of OD. But Nigma was not successful with it past their run at the minor and the major.
Yep. It's a good point too, because if you look at the game, like they have so many resets with the Wisp, with the Oracle. Now you have offensive resets as well, plus the BKB piercing disable of a Beastmaster in a incredibly long fight, right? Nigma will inevitably take it. The question is, can you actually survive long enough to do so? Like, especially when you consider these strength heroes are picking up halberds.
Before you continue analyzing this draft, real quick, it is going to be Nisha Kunkka, Zai is playing the Dragon Knight,
Okay.
Matu Morphling, and on the side of Nigma is the way you expected Miracle playing the Leshrac, Mind Control Beastmaster Hot.
Yeah, to me, if you're going to win this game as Nigma, Miracle's got to play a perfect game. And Secret, you have a lot of people that can go off. I'm going to key in on Yapstor, because against OD, against Leshrac, this can be a dream route.
I think it's going to be an interesting game for Miracle for sure. I mean, he's got so many steroids between her and can play aggressively with the Oracle. If he's going to carry any game, it's going to be this one.
All right, let's find out. Can he carry his team to force out more games in this grand finals? We're going to find out together with OD Pixel and Lacoste.
Thank you, Steve. It's game 3 ready to go between Nigma and Secret here in the ground. Secret up to 0 at the moment. Lacoste, what do you reckon of this draft? What's your heart telling you? What's your brain telling you?
They're once again with all in, but right now,
Prepare
Nigma,
for
they don't
battle.
have this steroid carry. buff up. It's Lash. He doesn't benefit that much from Io and Oracle sitting behind him. I was expecting something more like late game oriented. Yes, he comes online very quick, but I'm not sure if that's gonna be enough. And I've seen Zai stream Dragon Knight off lane, boy.
Yeah.
Meteor Hammer, first item.
Oh, really?
I'm not sure if that's gonna happen, but that's what he was building when he was playing offlane Dragon Knight.
Okay, I'll look forward to seeing that if it does come through for Secret, but we'll find out this game as we get stuck into this one. Game 3, ladies and gentlemen. Are Secret going to be able to walk away with the 3-0, or can Nigma start to try and turn this series on its head? Nigma, very much, I mean, this lineup, once again, it's something that can play very fast, Lacoste, isn't it? You're seeing this
Yeah,
blend,
sure.
this Beastmaster, there's a lot of tower push, and Nigma, they're going to start this game with a bang. Puppy's found in the jungle, and Miracle will kick things off with a first blood.
They have a lineup that doesn't rely on cooldown at all, besides OD, but even if he's on cooldown, this is the hero that he still wants to take a fight. Remember, this is not a faceless void who wants to wait almost 3 minutes. It's a good Ruby game, though. If you have Beastmaster Roar to steal, anything from Lash will feel good. Astral, the most important one that you want to go for, defensive. Roar is used, you just Astral someone.
And I'll be interested to see, sure, the Morph, it's here again, like in game 1, in a different capacity, though, as we said, in the side lane, Matu playing it rather than the Nisha mid. But that game 1, when Secret did try and run the Morph, that was the game where Nigma got very close to being able to abuse the time where Morph was trying to play out and fire up the E-Blade. That whole sort of opening 22 minutes was a window that Nigma did a good job of getting ahead on. Obviously, their own mistakes sort of shot them in a foot, caused the opportunities for Secret to get back on top. But if Nigma can replicate what they're able to do in game 1, they could have another shot at trying to break that high ground before Secret's ready to go with this.
Yeah,
Morph.
the mistake they made in game number 1 was going high ground before taking the Roche, which kind of backfired. But right now, they also have a nice Roche taking potential. You have Beastmaster with the aura. You have this Lash who deals a huge amount of damage in a short period of time.
And looking at some of the expectations from the lanes, this last pick OD from Nigma in this matchup against Kunkka. Kunkka, a beefy hero, has great wave clear with the Tidebringer, but would you still consider OD a hero because of the melee factor of the Kunkka that can come out on top of this 1v1? Can Weehard win this lane?
Knowing how good Nisha plays, it could be an even match, and if he gets levels early on, on Kunkka, you'll still can't go to jungle if things are not going correctly, but I don't think he should have too many issues. Yes, OD, whenever there's an Astral, he's going to use it, get the deny, and 1 or 2 CS, that this lane should go. But so far, Nisha doing extremely good, 7-3 against 5-3.
Yeah, solid start indeed as trade starts off even. The side lanes, interesting to see this time around, obviously beginning with mainly 2v2s rather than any tri-lane action early on. Is this something that we can expect to change? Is anyone going to get left alone, and do any supports have to start getting active elsewhere early this match?
You can leave Dragon Knight alone for 30 seconds, try to make him move on the mid lane, especially if you have a vision on the rune, and it's Invis rune, but the only one who has the vision of it is Team Nigma. So it's not going to be efficient even if you make a rotation. Nisha harassing him a lot, 2 points in Tidebringer already doing the work. And look at this.
Second Brace nearly out, could secure the wave attempt with the Torrent. And having that second Brace and still having that Salve ready to pop if he does get low. Nisha with all the tools to keep himself strong in this lane matchup. 11 for 6 against the 7 for 8, not having any trouble at all so far in these early levels against Weehard's OD.
Dragon Knight might go for Spirit Vessel this game. It's extremely efficient against these healing 2 supports that Nigma is having right now.
Yeah, even with sort of the ability to dispel off with the Oracle, you still see a lot of value in that item.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be situations where Oracle's not able to save. Right?
Oh, I said you can leave him for 30 seconds.
Whoa. They can land the stun. I mean, maybe they don't even need to land it here. Zai doing his best to try and juke it, but they've got him. Just alone a little too long. Must have hit the 31st second.
Probably, yeah. Usually I'm not wrong, especially when I am. I don't know.
We're seeing down bottom Matu's farm, 13 for 3, mind control, 14 for 6. Solid start on these lanes, 2 for 0. They're already starting to build up a 1K lead.
Yep, we can hear the crowd. They want Nigma to win this game. A lot of cheering when they were entering the stage and even right now.
Yeah, no doubt about it. The fans here, they just want to see more Dota 2. You know it. You know, Secret was down 2-0 at this point. They'd be cheering Secret's name. They want to see more action from these teams. And Nigma, this opening 4 minutes, they're certainly doing it. They're giving it their all to kick this game off to a much better start already than game 2's.
Yeah, 2 Borises. I don't know, I like the call Boris when we're in the CIS region, you know?
Boris?
Yeah.
Okay. I like it.
Doing a lot of work on the bottom. There's a huge amount of slow. Also, should be careful about this Oracle. 2 points in the nuke.
Oh yeah, this is that level 3 on Kuro is when he can really start to hurt. Huge amount of mana to play with, and he's got the 2 mangoes on top of that as well. So a lot of combos could drop if he sees the opportunity to start. He's going to start going on to Matu a bit. Matu's got to be careful on how much he shifted into the Agi. He cannot underestimate the burst from that level 2 Purifying Flames that Kuro has ready to go. Just continuing to do a good job of trying to push back Matu. Continuing to open up this lane for Mind Control to free farm as the Beastmaster. Again, Matu really playing on the edge here. Very, very low. Back towards the bounty room. Puppey will take it away. Mind Control will chase him for his efforts, though. The ball coming in, slowing down Puppey. But Puppey's still going to be able to make it over.
DP
take
out.
the bounty room. He's going to be able to TP out easily. There's no burst or catch to stop him. And that's Secret securing all 4 bounty rooms of 5 minutes in.
Even with 4 bounties, it's still an even game.
Yeah, you can see on the CS, all 3 of Nigma's cores just on average farming that better than that of Secret. Still, the mid lane, it's starting to step up in denies. Now that the levels are there, we are able to utilize the Astrals more frequently to take more away from the Kunkka. It's a Kunkka. You know, at this point, Nisha's going to be able to head to the neutral camps, make sure that his creep hitting stays on top.
It's going to be really tough to land any combo from Kunkka. They're safe from Oracle, they're safe from IO, and Astral from OD. But they need to make a lot of mess in the mid game before they can use Kunkka's combo.
In Secret, they definitely have started to rotate more away from that top, giving Zai that solo area to play. Does mean that there's very little pressure on the ledge. Bottom lane, an opportunity's been found. They try for Puppey, but Puppey's back under the tower. Matu comes forward. Trading harassment, Mind Control, and a TPM from Yapso. They've got a great sleep setup from Puppey that will allow them to find at least one of these, you'd imagine. Telekinesis back onto Mind Control. They'll take the kill. Kuro's trying to trade with the Purifying Flames, but it's not enough. Puppey is able to hide it out in the trees, and Kuro's got to run. Waveform forward. Matu's looking for a second kill. They don't have enough damage, and we are TP-ins there.
As ulti ready, if he can get some charges from that Astral, that's going to be +3, but Yapster gets a kill on Kuro.
Yeah, Kuro step and doesn't expect that Fade Bolt to come flying in from the side. Top lane, Nigma, they'll find some action in return. They're moving on to Zai, knowing the Secret. They put all their focus down bottom. The support TPs, meaning there was no backup for Zai available. Nigma could take the kill, and any time they clean up this top lane, Miracle's going to be able to push very, very quickly.
I like how both of these teams are processing information. You see rotation from Yapstor. It falls back to his tower, but the Nigma, they have the movement speed advantage. They get the kill, they get the tower, and this tower is important, not as important as the mid tower, but right now there's no one on the mid lane for a very long time.
Rotation from Nisha. If he wants to use the perfect read of the movement of Kuro. Didn't need an X mark, didn't need a boat. Gets him slap bang in the middle of the torrent, and now he has the X and the boat to look for Mind Control as well. He doesn't even need the boat. Nisha using the minimum, but that's all that's required to get the 2 kills off successfully with a perfect gank.
Well, Nisha is just too good. His performance on the Batrider in the previous game with the no deaths was amazing. And yep, I talked about it. He's going for the meme hammer. You might laugh about it, but I did the math.
Okay.
You know, you can stun people for 5 seconds.
5 seconds?
Yeah, if your Dragon Tail is maxed out, especially at the later stages of the game. If this goes to super late game,
you get
level 20, cooldown reduction, and 2 seconds Dragon Tail stun.
All right, big brain plays from Zai. I mean that, you know, then you know it's not like he's the only disable on the team. You combo that with a Rubik, a Kunkka, an Elder Titan. That's hero slammed down for a long, long time. But it is also, you know, you do not see your offlane hero rushing Meteor Hammer that much. So it is a different way to play. We'll see if it pays off. Bottom lane, Nisha tries for the attempt, but there's more than enough save from Nigma. GH and Kuro coming to help out Mind Control, as Nisha won't be successful this time with the action. Weeha's attention also brought down here. Still looking for an opportunity to use that Sanity's Eclipse to get that easy kill as an OD, but Secret play it safe. They back off and keep themselves away as OD shows himself.
Yeah, they understand that this bottom tower will probably go down. Zai putting a lot of pressure with that ulti.
But off the mark there, Miracle tries to read Zai's movement, but Zai plays the double buff. Bluff keeps moving in a straight line, and the stun's entirely off the mark.
A lot of rotations so far. Matu also pressuring the mid tower. I don't think Kuro can stop him. Also, not enough damage on that bottom tower since Miracle moved to the top lane. They don't have that edict.
And hard for, as you say, Kuro to stop. Hard for him to really harass him at all. As with the lifesteal, Matu can always play it safe and heal himself back up to full. Being able to head into the creep out here, Weeha is kind of actually shifted. Is it enough? It is.
Yes, it is.
It is indeed. A little too far in Agi, and Weeha sneaking around in the trees, catches off Matumba Man. At 620 HP, you are not surviving that combo. No stacks needed at all, really.
Crowd cheering Weeha's name.
They're getting excited.
They want to see more than 3 games. Outpost controlled by each team.
And 10 minutes in, so 4-4. A solid start from both lineups. You've got to watch Nigma and see how they're able to really ramp it up. They have this lineup that's very interesting in grouping up as 5. They have multiple ways to keep their cores safe. This Lesh and OD, they can frontline. Lesh is going to be doing the brunt of the damage to the buildings. This OD consistently trying to hold people back with the Astrals, build up those charges and drop the ults to win the team fights.
And he can go ham. There's the 2 saves on Nigma's side. Kanka's combo's not going to be that efficient. This is what I'm afraid of. They're going to mitigate or completely cancel every single time they try to go in with the boat and the torrent.
Trying to set up for something top, but these wards from Nigma give them all the information they need. They know that Puppey's around here to back up Zai. May even be tempted to try and go onto the Elder Titan if Puppey gets found alone. Miracle, he's going to head over and start to make a move towards him. And in the boost up, the Yule setup, they've got the item for the combos. Puppey taken away. Zai, he's got how he disengages. He does have a TP available, but with the OD coming in, he can't really straight up go for the TP.
He's also reload.
Little relocate to send them over. He'll turn towards Miracle, trying to stop any potential with the Yules, but there's still time for the Astral to come in. Miracle, the timing's there. Nisha, has he got the boat to send him to provide him some run? He's not even going to bother. Zai will be left to die. As now Nigma, they may even be able to catch another. The root catches onto Nisha. He's a little too far back. X mark onto Miracle to try and disrupt the combo, but already Weeha. He's across with the setup. Astral onto Yapsor. Nigma, they should have another here. The boat comes flying across. Another Astral into a stun. Yapsor will fall. Nigma, they're turning it up at the same speed that they were in game 1, and it's starting to be a little too much for Secret to deal with. And Nigma, they're not even done yet. Up towards the tier 2 Puppey. He's attempting to come across, but they'll Astral him up, stop him from doing any sort of safety play for Nisha. Nisha will fall. Nigma, they're relentless. They ain't holding back yet. Puppey down as well. As Nigma, there's no stopping them. They'll let Kuro die. Maybe he can even mess around with them a bit more. He'll false promise himself. He should fall here, but buying time for the rest of Nigma to get out. Miracle did go down. So Secret are able to get a core in reaction to it, and obviously not the plan for Nigma. They did not want to lose their
22
Lesh.
stacks on OD, who has the hammer ready.
Oh, watch out.
Silence.
Careful.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Man's going to do a lot lot of damage. Oh
Dire's
no.
middle tower.
Oh, Matumba Man, goodbye.
25.
Goodbye.
580 HP. I don't think he even needed to use the Astral there, but just to be sure, you know.
Radiant's bottom tower
Even though they're getting
is
all
under
these
attack.
kills,
Radiant structures are
in terms of
fortified.
network, the game is pretty even, but Nigma can easily explode. They're gonna be grouping up with this kind of a lineup, and they're not relying on any kind of cooldowns at the moment.
Oh my god, it was there. Nisha, Zai swarm across immediately. They're looking to stable the backline, get this Oracle under control. Yours up the Lesh, will dodge the boat combo, but they still have the lag down. But there's the jump over. GH with the tether, trying to keep Miracle alive.
The reload!
GH perfectly timed with the save. Kuro will fall, but GH keeping his man alive. As Weeha starts to rack up some of those shots, putting it up. Obviously no ult, but the damage will increase. GH is back in, and he will fall for his efforts to keep his core safe. The 3 cores of Nigma will live. They'll have to back away. Secret will get the space to take down this tier 1 tower.
Secret has an answer. You want to run Nanas, we're going to bring numbers. All 5 heroes on the mid lane. They also get the tower. Someone should address the problem on the bottom lane. Puppey a bit under-leveled on these heroes. Okay, he got the levels from this, so 3 points in stun, which is going to be pretty much the control in the backline for this Oracle and Dio if they decide to use the full combo to get a kill. Nisha, I love the build, going for that Heaven's Halberd, extremely effective against OD. Didn't see too much out of mind control, only involved in one of those skills, but he's getting the farm.
Yeah.
The Dominator to increase the damage, the extra creep as well.
Yeah, keeping himself just a little bit ahead of that of the farmer's die. I believe he should have the Meteor Hammer done right. Yeah, I think it's just coming out now. So he's got that hammer, he's got that combo. So as long as they can sort of start the fight and find the chance for Zai to offer that follow-up, they will be able to lock heroes down for a long time. The same thing though, they have to try and find the supports in this combo. Otherwise, Kuro with false promises, GH with relocates, will be able to keep Nigma's, core safe every single time.
My pubs are ruined. Thank you, Zai. Meteor Hammer on Dragonite.
Radiant's bottom tower is
There we
under
go.
attack.
Farming the Waven's
Radiant
style.
structures are fortified.
Sitting back, summoning up those meteors. Doesn't even need to hit a creep. It's all done with the power of the hammer. Problem is this game, the hammer of Weeha is going to be that little mightier. Each time the ult's up, Secret have to be wary of how they choose to fight, as Weeha will look to get involved with the help of GH's relocates.
Usually I'm not a big fan of Aghanim Scepter on OD. It's very situational in my opinion. But here where you have 2 extra saves and that's gonna add 1 more on top of that. The Team Secret, they're gonna need to and isolate the target that they want to go for. So using these like multiple stuns, try to fake go and then find a different target.
Full mech done for GH, so now no longer having to rely on the relocate alone, just buffing them up with the heal. That's the Aghanim's done for OD. These items coming together for Nigma, they're going to get closer and closer to the point where they're prepared to really try and force Secret back towards the base. They're trying to take away a tier 2 to open up the opportunity to push on heavily on this bottom lane. Zai popping the dragon form in a sort of an attempt to scare them off, and it is working. Nigma to be very careful about how they continue this pressure. We saw in game 1, mistakes were made. So far, they've been doing a good job of keeping everything to plan. Look careful here now as the stun.
Meteor Hammer.
There it is. The defense.
A lot of save. Meanwhile, Morphlings are farming on the mid lane, finding the farm in the jungle. Not even close to that shotgun.
There's the tower taken. Nigma, they want to get as much done as they can before he blades complete on Morph.
They're gonna go for tier 3. They're ready. 4 heroes are here. Someone's pinging it. It's the Brown.
I mean, how...
OD is missing.
Oh, they're going to try and make a go on to Zai. Okay, they're not. They don't commit with the stun. I believe Yapster was able to break it up a little bit. Zai will be fine. Even if they do get their hands on him, it's still pretty tanky with those stats offered up by the Meteor.
Oh, the perfect rune. He just picked up the haste so he can rejoin his team. Also, there's still one tier 1 tower on the mid standing. They would want to get that before. Get the aggression from Nigma.
Just making sure no one can leave the base. Trying their best to really assert dominance against Secret.
This ward from Secret near tier 3. No, how Nigma's gonna approach this.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Nigma can get a catch, Nigma. There's the Yules. He is tanky. And they do. The boat's going to be coming down, so they'll have that run boat. They'll commit the draw onto Nisha. Puppey's going to be able to offer up a stomp for the sidelines. Astro's used the stomp. Actually, the 3 of them stun up as well onto Miracle. But Nisha, he's falling low. Can they finish off this? They can. Nisha will fall. They take away a huge hero from Secret.
They can't chip away any damage on Nigma. They need to, like... I'm not going to say fully commit, because there's a lot of save, but there's no point in harassing them. A lot of save on their side to keep them healthy.
Nigma, no, there's no stopping. They've committed with this draft. They've committed with their items. They are not pulling back away from Secret anytime soon. The push will continue. Fortification used by Secret.
Is under attack.
Slows them down momentarily, but Nigma not going to back away.
He's alone.
He has come far away from the team. They've got to get over to it. They're heading over. Are they going to be able to get her in time? There we have. They do have GH coming in just in time to save him, and now with that backup, they can tell. He was right to trust his friends to be there in time to make sure the turnaround was in place as the Weeha bait cost Zai his life.
They just invaded enemy jungle and they're not letting go. Did I see that correctly? Is Kanka going for Aghanim Scepter?
He had Radiance queued up, but he's changed it, you're right.
I love that. Random torrents so they can find this Oracle and Io in the backline.
Oh yeah, welcome to Water Park. You know, both Morphe's going to be swimming around, there's going to be waterfalls everywhere. And you're right. A straight torrent, this sort of the range of the ultimate, well, sort of the second ultimate with that Aghanim, it is crazy. It's very likely that one of them will clip an Io or an Oracle trying to get in position, waiting for that time to use the false promise.
That's a big kill. He got the morph off.
He did get the shift. The rest of Nigma coming across, but Matu is going to start running. Secret immediately heading over to help out their Morphling. They've got to get
please
it quick.
Help me.
Matsu, and he's back up, and he is going to get it. Puffy's around. Astral set up there, though. Can Secret take a fight? Maybe they'll just sort of let Matsu go here. I think they know they cannot really save him. Matsu's falling low, and maybe they can. Pulse bonus has to be used. He has waveform back up in time. Matsu will live. But Nigma, they're not stopping. They'll look to whoever's next closest to them, and it is Nisha. Set up there, another stun. He's available if Weeha feels the necessity to pop it, and he won't need to for Nisha. Nisha is gone. Astral control. This Aghanim's allowing Weeha to catch target after target. They'll take down Zai incredibly low, finishing him off, or maybe not. They've got nukes. Kuro purifying flames time and time again. That magical burst taking down Zai. The two cores are gone. Nigma, they're ramping it up. We're seeing the magic that has won them, the games that has got them to this point in the tournament.
That's how they've been playing. Group up as 5, force enemy to come, have a lot of damage to toss onto the tower. They're still not going for the Roche. They want to take the outer tier 2 towers.
And you're seeing smart control play as well from Weeha. 406 yet to die this game, and he's never panicking with the ultimate. He knows how much scarier Nigma are when they have that available. The only time he's going to drop it is when he knows that there's no chance that Secret can defend a further objective. He's going to save that to the point where he knows they can go for a fight and look to push towards the high ground. And with all tier 2s taken, Nigma, they're building up to that. And it definitely looks like they've learned a lot from what they did in game 1. We're not seeing those same mistakes as they had at the start of this series.
And there are no defensive items right now in Team Secret. No BKBs on their cores, which means this hammer will be extremely effective. And I'm not talking about the Meteor Hammer. Full BKB on him in the 500 gold.
Scanning.
They have no abilities that go through BKB unless they steal Roar, which I don't think you even want to steal considering how much dispel and save they have.
Zai, over they go, trying to push things out on the top lane. It is, you know, a sort of another day in the office for Zai, dying once more. But this game round, with the way that Nigma are making so many things happen with each kill they get, you've got to wonder if Zai's going to be able to sort of step into this game and have impact as a DK. It's not your common offlane hero to do so.
Still a long way until that Aghanim Scepter. This is the Roche squad that they can't take. They need to buy time on Team Secret as much as they can, have heroes cutting the waves, but it's not going to be that efficient because always GH with the relocate, and they can easily set things up. Flash with the boost of travel. Yule Scepter also ready to defend.
And for Secret, what are they looking towards? What is in their mind the way that they turn things around? Are they waiting for that overextension? Are we going to start seeing Secret smoking up and looking to find pickoffs? Is fighting outside on the map their best bet right now?
They want to have any kind of engagement, just buy time. They have good ways of stopping the push. E-Blade is up on Morph. They just used the TP, so Nigma should do something about it to try to force a fight so he can't be efficient farming on the side lane and TPing back to home.
And Weeha is heading in, having that extra cast range with the Aghanims allows him for the setup. Yamsor is stepping forward, the second Astral once again, and a very useful timing gets him in the Astral during the poach, so there's no run buff for Nisha. He is vulnerable. A third Astral, they're closing in onto this Kunkka. Nisha's trying to run, still not wanting to drop the ult, trying to take him down without it. Nisha will live for that. He's able to TP away as they don't commit the ult. They'll turn, they'll get Matsu instead. All right, maybe not a Kunkka kill, but the Morph, they'll take that in turn.
Yeah.
And up to the high ground they go, 23 minutes in. No question about it, Nigma much more prepared to try and break the high ground this time round.
It's a lot of damage once that glyph is down, and the Edict will be ready in a second. 15 charges on the Bloodstone. This Lash does not give a single damn about any of this chip damage coming in from Secret right now.
On Secret, they may just have to let this one go. There's no more 20 seconds. Trying for the combo, Zai, but he gets interrupted straight away by the stun. Zai just getting destroyed. This OD at this time comes into play. Buys Zai a little safe as he turns. Dragon Tail and Torrent will stop them from finishing Zai off, but it will not stop Nigma from taking this mid-Rex. 24 minutes in. The perfect timing for Nigma's lineup, and they are doing it in a way that Secret has nothing to stop them with right now.
If they make one mistake, this game is just over. OD still keeping that ulti, building up the charges. 26 charges on the hammer.
You gotta watch out for that hammer. You really do. And Zai's hammer is not the one that's providing any sort of scare for Nigma. Zai steps forward, instantly falls low. A couple of hits will do it.
34.
He's probably just gonna die right here. As there's any sort of saving, there is not. Another orb comes through from Weeha, cleans up Zai. No buyback from him. Nigma taking the second rack. As it looks like Nigma, they found a way to punish Secret. They've run this lineup. They tried it in game one. It came close to success. Game three, a different draft, but the same, and it's worked exactly to plan.
Dire's top tower.
They cannot take this fight. OD, this game feels over. If they misuse, I mean, they're not even using their spells because they can't heavily commit. There's always another layer of save.
Nisha watching from the tree line.
I mean, you have to try. You need to go, even though you don't have a clear target.
They're going to try and clear out the trees. They've got the setup. Yours on Tanisha. Astral holding back the backup. A Secret, can they get any kills to start some sort of a defense? Oh, the BKB's out. There's the
Torrents are out.
Right away, 2 cores gone. Make that 3. It's a triple kill for Wii. GG is called. This is not going to be a Secret 3-0 today. It's Nigma. They crushed game 3.
The insane crowd gave them their energy. That's what they needed. The chanting. Amazing performance on this OD. I love the Aghanim Scepter in this situation. They had another save, and building up these stacks, sometimes you don't have to use it. It's just a threat of getting close. Once the hammer is dropped, we've seen 2 heroes just instantly disappear.
Yeah, Nigma just coming in clutch. We saw back in the minor, really, maybe some sort of we play magic going on for him. His OD there in Bukovel was what managed to sort of
5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Team secrets turn to ban. Dire team ban.
The cheers of the audience were successful. Nigma forced out another game out of Secret here in the grand finals. It's best of 5. Tug of War Mad Moon continues as we have the two general captains drafting against each other
10 seconds
once
remaining.
more. Kuro and
Team
Poppy,
secrets
first
turn to
friends,
ban.
then enemies, now colleagues?
Enemies?
Frenemies? Is there a word for
Respected
that?
rivals.
Respected rivals. Oh, so diplomatic,
team
Kyle.
ban.
Yes, Kyle is long known for his diplomacy. It's good he stepped in.
I was
Mediated
gonna make a
resolution
comment. I'm like,
between two parties.
it's too easy. We have a draft for game number 4. I am curious to find out what Kuro and Puppy are gonna do. We do see the Morphling ban, so even though they didn't win with it just now, it is a flex pick for Secret.
Yep.
We're gonna
And
remove it, and the IO ban.
I think
The big
that's
one.
10
due to
seconds
the morph
remaining.
ban. I feel like that's gonna be your response. They're comfortable with it because you blow up the morph at a point,
5
but they've
seconds
learned their
remaining.
lesson as Nigma have adapted. And I kind of like it in a way. You know, Puppy's like, okay, keep playing this Wisp. The moment they beat him with it, all right, you're gonna have to try
Secrets
something
turn to
else.
ban.
Yeah. See what they're letting through this time around then. What are they letting through this time around compared to a previous game? We had a Tiny, Bat, and Chen ban. Obviously, Tiny is still in the pool, but you don't need Tiny. I've already banned IO.
I don't know.
Do you?
I don't know if I agree with that. I think Tiny is still pretty damn scary. It's definitely not necessarily something to fear as much in the 2,
10
but
seconds
these roaming
remaining.
4 positions still are very.
are you gonna give up
Has
5
Slardar?
seconds
I was gonna say, has
remaining.
that been banned as well, or is that just
That's
slipping
been
through?
banned.
It has been banned. Not this game. Nyx Assassin, of course, still one of those as well. We saw it picked up in the second phase in one of the previous games. The cheers are once again on Nigma's side. Even though we established at the start of this series, like there was a check with the stage house who the most fans were for, but it was Secret that most people were cheering for. However,
To be
these people
fair,
are just
this could be a new
Yeah.
group of people as well. Keep in mind, because you only, I think
I don't know.
you watch a game and then you've got to like reshuffle as they get a new.
What would
stack
you
in.
do if you got yourself a seat knowing that there were so many people waiting for a seat? I know that there's some really nice people that would then, oh, after a game or two, I'll, make space for someone else. No,
Dire
I'm going to
team
sit there. I'm going to make sure that I don't drink any water so I don't have to go to the toilet. I'm going to be there for the whole series.
Well, I think we know which fan Shiver is. I can't sit still for that long, so I would.
How do
I
you
would
fly?
I'm flying. So they are going to give up the Slardar. There is Nyx Assassin.
10 seconds remaining. Team secrets
I mean, I think
turn to
Slardar is
pick.
like easily the most.
Yeah, there he is.
Which I think is also kind of cool. Like Secret are still ahead, and
Team
they've
Secrets
given the
turn to
IO up
pick.
3 different times and said, okay, we're going to try and beat this.
Dire
Now they're going to
team.
get an opportunity to show that Slardar.
I like
and
this is how I
Wow.
start with it, Cap. You need some sort of defensive urge. You need a cleanse mechanic. Oracle's got 2. It's also great synergy with the Troll, who can lane well against Slardar.
Dire
Because if you
team
want to play a melee hero against Slardar, you are crazy. And then the immediate Razor, just to ensure that you have that answer where even if this Troll isn't vulnerable, if you get the link off, who cares? He won't be dealing damage.
Yeah, this is somebody actually drafted Troll in the 1-2 against Secret, and they got their hands. Even though Secret did win, I think it is a
10 seconds
theoretical-
remaining.
like at least the laning phase. Right? That is the
5
scariest
seconds
thing
remaining.
about Slardar. Is he's so strong. He doesn't have to
Team
do it.
secrets turn to ban.
His bash is out of control. So he's got a ranged carry that is able to deal with that really well. He's got a game, got a save to be able to that troll.
And the Bat Riders already banned out in the first 3, along with the Morph Ench, which are all consistently good performers against Slardar.
Now you just want heroes that are going to be able to kite the troll as possible. Razor does that quite well with his movement speed, draining away his damage, takes advantage of the corrosive haze that we're going to be having on these as well.
Yep.
And a fast pace.
Yep, and also another reason Slardar just, damn, who's playing it, right? It could effectively be any of the players on the lineup. It's just a matter of what they feel is best for them.
Ban.
And no matter what, Slardar is going to do Slardar things. Strong laner, tons of stuns, aggressively.
Gambit were the ones who opened troll, but they did troll AA.
Yeah.
And that
Into Slardar?
Slardar. And that this is a much better.
It used to be better because Slardar would take bonus damage when he was sprinting, and you would then increase that damage taken even more with the W. But I think now that is just not the case. There's also a much stronger AA when he was also super busted, and you gave it to allies too and killed the Slardar in the laning phase.
Stop, you have a camera
10
on it?
seconds remaining.
This drafting parrot.
5 seconds.
Why do you think they like Kunkka so much?
No, that's a little thing.
Huh?
Shiva wasn't listening to nonsense, Kyle.
I'm used to women ignoring while I talk.
Good that you made that comment, so I did not have to. Alright,
Kyle had to make peace with that a long time ago.
To pick.
Medusa ban coming out from Secret and an instant Tiny snap pickup.
I like that. I think that that's a guaranteed giveaway in the next phase for Nigma, and I think that this is just one of YapzOr's best heroes. Assuming he is the one playing it, of course, you never know. But naturally, you get so much armor from your ultimate, it sort of cancels out the Slardar's effect. Thus, it's a pretty nice.
Is it mostly YapzOr playing Tiny? Have we seen someone else play it? I know they swap things around on others a lot, but I don't think we've seen Secret swap Tiny around. For this event, I would be correct, but
yeah.
I guess not too surprising.
Now you're thinking about what support you want to pick up here, because this could be the Kuro Slardar. We saw that yesterday, and instead it's going to be the Kuro Chen. I like this pickup. I think, especially when you have a Slardar, I love when you add in this tower pressure, right? You already got such strong mid game with these 2 cores. Now add in the Chen, and all of a sudden Roche becomes easier. You suddenly have someone that can pick up auras, and I think that's key. Secret always have these team fight items. There have been times where Nigma doesn't, and specifically, another thing to examine about that game 3 in comparison to the first 2. When does Nigma look the best? It's when they're playing fast, when they're playing with tempo, and they're the ones fighting you, and this gives them the power to do so.
In that case, what Nigma really needs then is another source of initiative. If it's also a source of, that would be nice. But right now, they need their biggest concern being like this Razor isn't staying on top of people as much as he wants to. Troll is naturally hero. You've got to save from an Oracle, and then Tiny has a save of sorts with his toss, right? Whether it's tossing the Razor away. So you really need to make sure that you lock heroes down in one area, and you are able to play that fast pace against you.
I expect we'll see another rushed BKB on the Razor. That's going to be cool. Just so you can onto that troll like glue. It also just makes it easier for your team to play the game, because you're going to be having to be the running forward. Like, you see how durable the Secret lineup is already, and I was thinking they might go for this Darkseer because it just creates that kiting potential. And you've talked about what's the fear of the troll. It's not dying because of the Oracle. It's actually just being drained. And this Darkseer is going to allow him to just duck and dodge in and out of the fights. Plus, Chen now looks like an incredibly slow-paced hero against these 4 of Secret. It's a very tough game for you if you ever get caught in the back foot.
They're like, Nigma, you want to play fast? We'll show you play fast. If they can set the same type of tempo as we saw coming out from Nigma previous game.
I think it was interesting because I actually could have worked on sides.
Yeah.
Simply because of support Slardar / support tier that around.
And it's nice too, because we talked about where the aura item's going to come from Secret, right? They kind of needed the offlaner to fill that role. If you went for something like the Centaur, the LC, and then suddenly it's like, well, he's probably going to be buying like that force, maybe the armor items of Vlad's. All these items are key, but it fit the hero's kit. Whereas Darkseer, whatever it feels like they need, be that a force, a Lotus, Type Plus, whatever, you're going to feel fine. And Lifestealer into Troll, how do you feel about that one? Because I've always favored the Troll personally.
I think the synergy that they have with the Lifestealer offsets matchup.
Yeah, I can give you that.
Right? Just like they have this Slardar, you have to make use of how, like, what else are you going to be running? Like,
yeah. And it also just makes this Oracle, though, even more valuable. The name of the game for Nigma is just going to pop Puppy immediately, because otherwise you can dispel the open wounds, the amplify, you're going to have problems. And I like it because, to your point, Nigma now are at a point where if they get ahead in the game, you get that Armlet Deso Lifestealer timing with the Blink Slardar. It doesn't matter what the draft is. It doesn't matter what Secret has. You can't get enough defensive items up in time to compete with that amount of raw physical damage.
You know, I think it would be cool if Nigma switched it up and ran 4 GH and grabbed, like, Mars. The other play was, yeah, actually the Earthshaker. Right, you need something that jumps in and forces the enemy to be able to stay in one area.
Yep.
And Earthshaker and Mars both do that for you really well.
Puck does it too.
Mars is also very good versus.
Yeah, he is talking MC, so it does feel like it might look to be his hero. I see.
5 seconds remaining.
I'm looking at Nigma's lineup, I'd love to see them play with something like a Furion, but it's not good in the game. And I feel like there's more options at the 4 than the 3. I feel like if you get an early drums on Slardar here from the core role and just start running at people with your Chen, there isn't much of a counterplay from Secret, and I think you want to be able to take it to him. Because as this game progresses and Secret lineup comes online, I take the lead. They also will have that ultimate last pick, so it won't be as free of a game for Razor as
We also see GH being very vocal on our screens, so it is mind control and GH. What are they gonna decide? Who's playing Slardar and who gets the last pick for their team right here?
Is Puck still available?
Puck is still available. It's okay.
I took your habit of not listening to other people.
Fair. Broodmother and instant Underlord pick. Out of the ban, that is.
Underlord is counter to the troll, and it is still that concept of fighting in an air, right?
And it forces BKBs away. Or at the very least, if you try and armor up to deal with Miracle, you're going to have to deal with the Firestorm, max HP burn damage, plus the Pit. And it also creates area control. Choke points now got a lot more difficult.
10 seconds
also, you have the Chen, you have tower pressure. It's just the team fight that was lacking. Plus, now you have a sustain item buyer to counteract, to go along.
Oh, God. You have now picked Underlord, and they have a Slark, and MC's holding his head going, oh, God, no.
Infinite scaling!
Dude, I hate this matchup so much. It's one of my least favorite matchups.
They can swap things around, perhaps?
I literally never play Underlord.
Is it that bad? What, just because the laning phase is so rough? You buy a Force Staff at a point and run away from it.
No, your like whole game is just by the concept of, right? It's like not just his laning phase is bad. They're able to just secure like a slight advantage and 1-to-1 you, but then your entire concept of playing longer drawn-out fights is good for Slark.
This is also the dream Slark game. You remove all of these debuffs from yourself. You win the lane, to your point. You can run away from the Razor. You own the Chen. It's also a 1-to-1 good matchup against the Lifestealer.
You know what's funny though? Slardar is a great core against in Slark, so can you run for Underlord? Pick up like a Rod of Atos GH Underlord?
I actually wouldn't mind that. I think that, to your point, I'd rather have my Slardar staying in lane against Slark than an Underlord who it feels like inevitably might become useless. Nigma, if you feel the crowd, they'll have the energy behind them. They can ride that the first 15 to 20 minutes. They take those early towers, they can get a commanding lead. However, Secret into the late game, 30 minutes plus, it starts to really turn in their favor.
Any final words, Cap?
Let's go Nigma.
All right, let's see if we can get that 5th game going. That Odie picks up on the cost. Let's go.
Can't wait for this one, Sheev. We're coming to game 4 now of Nigma versus Secret. What a series we have had so far. A real treat for what has been a real treat of a tournament as a whole. The cost, we've seen the draft. That last pick, Slark, certainly has its sort of ups and the strengths this game. But they do have some potential lane counters that Nigma could run against it.
They could, yeah. They could put the Razor on the off lane against the Slark or Slardar, yeah. And they could put the Underlord mid. They've done that before. Have a Razor on the off lane, mind control, played mid before the Underlord. Even though it's not, if they decide to put Troll on mid, it's still gonna be okay for Underlord. He will get his farm.
Yeah, I mean, and you know, with that Slark as a final pick for Secret, what does that sort of say to you from what Secret want to do? Is it very much another game where they say, well, Nigma's going to try and push at us at 25 minutes in. We're going to do our best to make sure that they slip up and get this Slark to this point where he has this BKB, feels pretty indestructible and is able to just carry it to the late game.
They wanted to have a hero who can scale into late game if it comes to that, but also a lane where Slark can beat this Underworld. This beefy hero needs some kind of a counter. I was thinking whether they're going to go for Ursa or Slark. They decided to go for Slark, and they just need to have the lane matchup. They need to be the ones having a better matchup for themselves. Also, it's going to come to that who takes the first roach. You see Flardar, you see Lifestealer. I think it's a great Deso game for him. Like this minus armor combined from these two.
Yeah, a build that pretty much most of the time Miracle will go for. Sure, we saw like the Maelstrom build up earlier this series, but that was in a game where he was significantly behind and felt that he was forced to go for sort of that farming item to catch things up. So if all things go to plan, I absolutely would agree with you. There is going to be the chance that Miracle sticks to that armlet Deso that he's been just so successful with this tournament.
The one thing they can do is run a tri-lane for Team Secret, put the Darkseer on the top lane, and he just creep skips. Lifestealer will get the free farm, but so will Darkseer. Like, Chen will be the one harassing you, getting a creep, but I don't think that's enough. YapzOr gets the rune. 1, 2, 3 for Nigma.
Yeah, Nigma taking the advantage on the rune pickups. May lose a hero, though, as YapzOr, Matu, and Puppey. They'll look towards Kuro. Kuro trying his best to run away. YapzOr, I believe, still with the spell ready to pop in there, and it's tossed back into first blood for Matu.
Easy agi. And this combo, if they decide to run a tri-lane, you just go back step, find the toss, and you see Mind Control already preparing to cut the waves.
Oh yeah, I mean, he knows, right? He cannot really play that lane against the Slark. So over he goes. We'll be able to clear up the first creep wave before anyone gets here, or at least the range group. Both supports are coming across to try and bully Mind Control away from just having this free wave to start the lane off. YapzOr and Puppey, they'll do their best to mess with him. We'll see how much damage they can do, as they're going to slowly chase him down. Mind Control obviously not able to go for any sort of deep attempt out. Yeah, there's no escape for him. So he's got another Firestorm. He's going to get the second wave in. Will he get it out before he goes? We'll do a little bit of damage to the wave.
They're going to deny those creeps.
Yeah, maybe a
not a good Firestorm.
He didn't want to pop. Creeps will be taken away.
And Zai, he got the creep wave near his tower. Nigma GH. Bash.
And starting to take the tower, though, so GH. Careful, make sure he de-aggroes. And Zai will be able to soak up those first few creeps unended. But it very much, it has been this bottom lane. Mind Control comes back in, and of course the creep waves meeting here does have to try and draw them away from Matu. Not going to be easy to do so with those two supports. They're going to constantly be looking for opportunities to allow Matu to get aggressive. This very vulnerable offlaner in this Slark matchup.
Mid lane is okay for Troll, of course. Razor has a better matchup, uses that static link, some harassment, stealing the damage, but every single time you use static link, whirling axes, slow him down so he does not get the full drain. Zai will be once again the sacrificial offlane. We've seen what he can do even without the farm, but we've also seen what Miracle can do when he has the free farm Lifestealer, farming the jungle and the side camp and the lane.
A bit of an attempt onto Zai there, but couldn't quite get the fourth hit off the bash in time before the surge is there.
Needs to pull the lane back on the bottom lane, so they have this backstab ability with the tiny back toss, and there's a lot of kill potential if they wrap around it and have lane in a good position, and that's what Puppey does, just pulls the creep wave.
I mean, both carries with the setup are going to have a great start. You'll see Miracle free-farming at his tower. Matu's going to be able to do the same and maybe even farm kills as well as Mind Control tries to step in. It's not a safe place for him to be. These three heroes will kill the Underlord very easily. And do so once again in this lane. It's mid lane, Nisha. That's going to be wrapped around on GH coming in for a very early movement. And with the crush, the bash too. A good amount of damage on the static link. These body blocks as well from GH to slow from the plasma field. That'll do it. GH swimming across to the mid lane for an early movement that catches Nisha off guard.
And Zai uses that info, pulls the wave, needs to do something He's not getting too much out of this. Like, he's 0-0.
Not the sort of expected start as a Darkseer. Not a single CS to be had. There it is. Finally he breaks the emptiness, the loneliness up top as he gets that first love. Fortunate for him, other lanes are going great for his teammates. Bottom lane, another death on Mind Control.
They're ruining Mind Control's game. At least he's getting some CS compared to Darkseer. I like what they did. They swapped Slaughter on the top lane so that he has the bash and ability to stop any kind of aggressive play from Darkseer, keeping the creep waves, and having a Chen on the bottom lane. I mean, you gotta lose one of those lanes.
And some of this CS difference, it's getting crazy. The comparison between the two carries, sure, the kills are there for the Slaughter down bottom, but top lane, Miracle 34 CS. The mid lane matchup, 18-14 now. That kill has just pushed that advantage for him in so much that he is just destroying Nisha. Nisha cannot come close to the wave every single time with that level advantage in the static link. Nisha gets beat back and he's having to slowly sort of catch up, killing neutral creeps. This is not where you want to be as a troll layer.
Slaughter is also causing a lot of issues moving between tier 1 and tier 2 towers, so he can always backstab the mid lane and put a lot of pressure on the Darkseer so he can't get any far. Darkseer doubled his CS in the last 2 minutes, sitting at 2 right now.
Soldier's fortune.
Bounty rune state looks to be, again, 3 bounty runes going to Nigma. They'll take the advantage on the gold. Doing a good job overall on the map, GH. It's going to be up top again, trying to force Zai away from any opportunity of grabbing any sort of creep wave.
I would gladly go to his jungle, but this is where Troll lives.
Secret definitely being starved for resources on the top lane and the mid lane. They're just not places where they have the hero composition to secure. They are going to try and do something to help out Zai a little bit top. Yapto coming in, a toss back, will give him the space to take down the courier. So finding some sort of action up here. Miracle will step forward, start to trade onto Zai, forcing him to run away. Puppy's also headed up. They realize how rough of a time Zai is having up here. They want to try and do something to rectify. Matu with that start can be left alone. They know that the Slark is fine to just try and get that solo XP, get himself closer to 6. But both top lane and mid lane, it feels like Secret, they've got to do something over here as these lanes are going disastrously.
Boards are not getting any farm at all on both of these teams.
Step over the board. Hey, GH is going to have We Are over here. Yapto's got to run. Search will save him, but now We Are can turn towards Zai. Zai, he saved his support, but he cannot save himself because of it. A free, easy kill for Weeha as he just momentarily steps across GH. He's not done. He's looking towards Yapso, but won't be able to dive any further towards that tier 2. But this mid lane for Weeha, it's entire free farm for him. It's entire free farm for Miracle on this top lane. Razor and Lifestealer are going to be out of control very early this game.
They need to bring 3 heroes to kill Wee on mid. If he gets the static, even if they get the back toss, he'll get the static link on the troll, and there's no way you're getting killed. Matu decided to join and end the Mind Control's life here.
I mean, Mind Control's got a little bit of a smile. Yeah, there you go. He's having a bit of fun. He knows anytime that Slark turns up, he's done for. The level advantage, Matu with the 6. There's no escape as a poor old level 3 Underlord.
And different approach from Miracle than what he had in game number 2. So he's going for that Deso armlet build, cheap, cost-efficient item on top of Slaughter's minus armor. Like, they need to be careful about the Roshan. Once he finishes those 2 items, you lose 1 hero and suddenly Rush is gone.
Mid lane trying to push Weeha back the best he can, but you see it on the net worth. It really is the state of the game at the moment. Nigma, they just have these 2 cores in a dream spot. Matu, he's in a great place, but there's 2 cores of Secret that have a lot of catching up to do. Both Nisha and Zai. Zai is sat bottom right now as the Darkseer. Matu does continue the killing spree up top. We see them get the pick off back towards mid. We are also diving in again, able to kill off Nisha. It's just, can Matu do enough this game to rectify the faults that Nisha and Zai have? He has 2 cores that are used. Matu has got to carry this game harder than he's ever carried before.
1 more hit will do the trick.
He's 4-0-3.
Permanent charges already. That's a lot. Building that Diffusal Blade, it will cripple Underlord and Lifestealer.
But as I say, he's got to carry phenomenally. It's 8 minutes in. His offlaner is bottom net worth.
If he manages to carry them, someone will need to check his spot.
We're going to need to get him some serious massage therapy after this one. If it is going to be the case, as Nigma, 2K up. GH just messing
He had
with him.
enough.
Matu's going to turn and have a poke back. Not something he can commit for those. GH has got friends. Both Kuro and Mind Control are around. Puppey will take it up on himself to go for it. GH won't get in this time to cancel the channeling, as they do manage to take back that outpost as we get closer towards the 10-minute mark.
Can we switch back quickly to DS board to see how many
Radiant's
DS
middle
Darks
tower
here
is under
got?
attack.
14, all right, that's a lot. Slaughter's been causing a lot of issues, but he has zero CS. It's one of those forces not having any ways of farming, so he needs to either stack or get the kill.
Mid, they're going to try to play on Weehab. Quick surge forward gets them the opportunity to toss him back. They're looking to burst down Weehab, but the verifies pops. He does get rooted. Can they save him? Weehab still alive. Got him. Big kill for Puppey. Up against the 4 of Nigma. Gets him with the Purifying Flames to take Weehab down.
Urge will cause a lot of issues in the mid game. They are lacking control. Slaughter is the one, plus Pit of Malice. I'm not sure if that's going to be enough. Also, they have a Razor who's building the Yule Scepter, so that's going to be a big one. The Dispel and the ability to set things up.
But these are
lost another tower.
Very early movements from Nigma. Miracle with this incredible armlet timing. Because of such a free lane he had. Down bottom, Matt. Got to get away from this. Trying to get around so he can pounce out, but GH is blocking him up. Shadow Dance movement speed will allow Matu to jump away. GH is going to continue to chase and mess around with him. Matu trying to stay out of vision to start benefiting from the regen. I think he's going to come down to make sure that he is safe as Puppey's here. Maybe Matu could look to try and turn. He trades back onto GH. Another crush holds him down, but the root's there from Puppey. It kills him with the wraparound too. GH will not escape. As Matu, his killing streak continues. I think Secret at this point, they realize they've got to do everything to just propel this Slark game to another level. He is the one to carry them right now, as both Nisha and Zai, they just have not had a game so far.
When GH played yesterday against the Alchemist, he did the same thing, just following the hero, so he can't farm. If he didn't give this kill to Slark, it would be so much worse because he's not getting any farm out of the lane. You're just forcing him to do stupid stuff in his own jungle, running away from you. Troll, you just see the item that he goes for? Nisha, looking outside a box, Silver Edge. He wants to be able to break Lifestealer, Underlord, Razor.
Okay.
Even Slaughter, there's a lot of things to break.
I mean, do you like it? Do you feel if you're behind as a troll, this is sort of Nisha trying to do the big brain play and think how he can best have some sort of an impact as a teammate?
I wouldn't mind seeing maybe a Mel just to speed things up, but then always BKB will be delayed because you're playing greedy.
Oh, the smoke up from Secret, looking to enable some action. This time Zai also joining the two supports to help out Matu find the blood down on the bottom half of the map. Yaptor looking for the lead and he surges forward, gets the chance to the toss back. They'll catch out GH. Another kill fed into the mouth of Slark. 6-0-3. Matu, all a Secret standing on his shoulders right now. As Nigma, they have the resources spread perfectly between their safe lane and mid lane. Miracle.
They finish this test, so in 1,000 gold, they go straight into Roche Pit with the Slaughter. This is how they've been playing for the last few days. Get Aegis online and go for tier 3 towers at the 20-25 minute mark.
Yeah, they're in their element right now, Nigma. This is exactly, I mean, this is better, I feel, than how they could have hoped for the game to go. They have got off to such a good start here in Game 4. And those objectives, they're going to sort of take themselves with the lineup they have. Secret's got to build towards some way that they can get Matu, getting things done really elsewhere on the map. The bottom lane's been secured. That whole area is great for them. I believe his defusal should shortly be done.
It's done.
It's done.
So this will give them the damage. Underlord kind of recovered. He has the same amount of farm as Troll at the moment. That's the difference. Have this Firestorm, which increases your farming ability, especially when you have 4 points in it. They need to be ready for that, Roche. They have no vision hero, but they have a surge. No points in wall at the moment. He should definitely get one.
Just dropping the wall.
Not like that.
Casually hit. And Miracle, he's into the creep. Matu has come across, but with a quick raid, Miracle knows there is nothing to cancel it through the BKB, well, the Mad community.
That was a tough kill to get. He can always just DP out. You can't stun him when the rage is ready.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And space for Nigma to clean up what's going to be a third tier 1 tower here,
Dire's
13
top
minutes
tower
in.
is under attack.
They are taking
Dire's
over
structures
control
are
of the map. Secret
Radiant's
really being forced into a
structures are
position
fortified.
where they've got to think incredibly active with the plays they make. Every move they make around the map
Radiant's
with
bottom
Matuma Man,
tower
it
is
has
under
to be
attack.
flawless.
Still didn't kill a single tier 1 tower. This is a setup from Razor. The old center showed up.
Straight into the stun combo, and with the corrosive haze, they can find kills so easily now. GH being level 6 just enables these hard right-clicking carries of his to clean up heroes in a matter of seconds.
Secret will need to dodge the fights if they can get a kill, not on the life stealer. This is what you can try to do. Let's see if Troll
He's come out quite far,
can do
Miracle.
stuff.
And he doesn't have TP available. It's still on cooldown for 15 seconds. He needs backup. It's heading over. Are they going to be able to get there in
Big
time?
kill.
I don't think they are. The root's up, and they'll kill him off. Another kill added to the tally of Matuma Man, as Weeha and GH just cannot get in to punish them in return.
He should be more careful about not having TP ready because there's no items that or abilities that go through Rage TP at the moment.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
As he has it, it is the perfect counterplay. 15-minute runes. Again, this time it's even better for Nigma. They pick up at least the 3 of them. Okay, Secret will get 1. It's the same. At both 5, 10, and 15-minute marks, Nigma have claimed the majority on bounty runes. Their gold lead will continue to be very stable here at this 4K advantage.
Look at the creeps. 2 centaurs, 2 ogre frost mages. That extra armor and the slow coming from it is going to be super efficient against the troll and Slark. Man, Yapster's been involved in the 10 out of 12 kills. 0 deaths so far. Well, that's going to be the first one, it seems, unless Puppy drops the ult.
Crushes off the mark. Yeah, he doesn't quite get close enough. There's actually a bit of a toss forward to try and get Matuma Man in position to fight. Weeha looks towards the kill, but the false promise will save the
Dire's
Absol.
top tower is
Oh,
under
the courier
attack.
died. That's a full drum and the clumsy net on Slark. Clumsy net on Slark is extremely efficient because you can play the side lane and have a something to stop the TP with. Straight into Roche Pit. Slaughter ulti plus that fresh death. So
Correct. He needs a little bit of help outside of it. Actually, with the Centaur there, Matthew can't commit after the Dark Pact ends. Secret know exactly what's going on, but what can they do about it? Roshan already down to half HP. Secret's got to contest this somehow.
Perfect
The wall
wall.
is dropped. Matthew being forced back. They're trying to get that Shadow Dance out early, so he doesn't have it for the potential steal. He won't need to use it. Heals up from Puppy. Keep him safe. As Matu's just going to try and work for the timing. He's looking to get in at the exact time needed. Nigma will step back. They don't want to bring Roche close to the point where Secret could get a potential steal off. They'll smoke up and look to try and get a kill before returning.
huge wave approaching on the bottom lane,
Zai.
but you can't really leave.
He stepped a little too close. The initial crush was there, and that's all that's needed to take out Zion. He'll be yours up. Surge does not save him at this point of the game. They're a man down, and that
Time to
should be
back
enough.
off. There's
Get
no
back
way they fight here. No Oracle ulti, no Dark Tier wall. Someone should farm that bottom lane. A lot of XP and gold.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Everything continuing to go to plan for Nigma. This style of play that they've been very successful with. People wondered if it would be enough to cut it against Team Secret, and they're showing us here for effectively the third time. Sure, they didn't win game one, but this early game that they play seems very strong against the style that Secret tries to bring.
Oh, nice positioning.
If they can do it, defensive yours will be removed immediately. GH is trying to head across to help out. The link's there, so Matu has to split. Pounces away, Puppy will be left.
It was a tough kill to get. Chen comes close, uses the mech, also had Hand of God ready. There's no way you burst him down. Cut the waves, that's the plan right now for Team Secret because they can't take this fight.
Swinging over towards mid, we are, of course, with that ample catch ready to start things off. Secret, they've constantly got to keep at least one support by Matuma Man's side. And any sort of death on this slug right now will be incredibly painful. They are buying his recovery, it's certainly there. He's just about caught up to the farm of Weeha. Mid lane, a play attempted to be made, but both shots back in a vacuum won't be there. Matsu can still dive in. There's a chance for the static link to come off. They try and split, and he's looking to get immediately back in there, but he's too deep. Or is he? Matsu.
Right now, they're just trying to delay push, force any kind of rotation from Nigma to cancel that push coming on the tier 3 towers, and they stopped them.
Coming back in towards the mid lane, Matsu. Got to play careful. Dark Pact and a jump gets him out of the pit. An itemization. Diffusal straight into the acronyms. An excellent item on Slark, and particularly so when you're playing against Razor.
He wants to be able to go in and out, so Oracle ulti can be used on a different target. Troll still split pushing on the top lane. I want to see the item on Troll. Did he actually decide to go for that? No. Yeah, he went for the farming item. Yeah.
I mean, you're right. If he did go for sort of the Shadow Blade Silver Age, that would have been incredibly all-in from Nisha.
And you're playing against Slardar, so they will have the vision on you if they put down the sentry ward, so your assassination build is not going to be that effective. He might still swap back to that after he gets like a beacon.
And we do, continue to see, if this game does slow down in any sort of way, Nisha's farm, it is going to overtake. They find a perfect setup onto him, though. They've headed over to this half of the map where Nisha has been getting away with quite a lot for quite some time. The link's there onto Nisha. See the wrap around. Trying to get on top of the support. Matsu's been separated from the squad, pounces down, GP's out. He'll make it away, but Puppy yaps on Nisha. They're still caught in the fight. Chase back, jump forward, Japsel finds the combo. The burst heals there. Miracle can now turn onto Nisha. False promise from Puppy will save him, but Puppy, he'll lose his life for this as GH bashes him up. Nisha is able to get the TP out in time.
They only got...
Oh! It wasn't enough heal in the fountain.
There's a lot of that. For that, I thought he was going to survive.
Yeah, maybe could have invested in a salve and got it going. I felt like it.
And a salve or fairy fire.
Yeah.
Just to be sure that you're not dying.
Radiant's middle tower
dead in the fountain. Nigma, they'll look to get back on to taking these tier 2 towers with the troll dead and gone for 30 seconds.
Radiant's middle
20 minutes in, they're ready to go high ground. Here we have it once more. Nigma, they've set up perfectly to push on, and Secret, what have they got ready to defend? Japstor attempts for the jump in, but he instantly gets rooted. They try and get him back to safety. A 4-star will split him from Nigma. He'll live, but the tier 3 tower nearly taken out. Fortification buys it a little bit of time, but Nigma, they're not going anywhere. GH steps in for a cheeky slap onto Zai as the tier 3's down. Nigma onto the barracks at 21 minutes in. Nisha's back in the game. How can they hold? Send out the axes. Miracle just raid. Pop. He stands tall. He's still got that Aegis, so nothing to worry about as Nigma, they claim the first melee racks 21 minutes in. It's all going to plan once again for them in game 4.
They got what they... Melee racks is Aegis still up and running for a minute, I believe. And full BKB on Razor. So once again, they don't have an ability that goes through magic immunity. All pieces coming together for Nigma. Mech on Chen. Pipe to mitigate any kind of magical damage, so Tiny's combo will not be as efficient. He does not have a clear target in this game.
And with the stages, Nigma could just get so much done right. I mean, is there anything you feel that they're scared of that would stop them from going the high ground again? It feels like Secret, they're just not prepared. They're not ready at this stage.
They're not ready yet. They can try to backstab, take out the Chen first, so any kind of healing is used to keep himself alive. Aegis is gone.
They weren't able to hold mid. Can Secret do anything to put a stop to this speed that Nigma's playing at? Matthew in from the backline. Capsule jumps in, looks to combo down to and Matthew's on target. But the Ogre off Frost Armor is keeping Kuro tanky. Janadon has been committed early. It comes to an end. How are they going to chase them? Matthew should get it. Will be able to pass. Got to safety Nisha. Gets him, finally finishes off Kuro. They've got the support kill. But Nisha got to get him out of the safety. The first force will
Where is it?
He pops the ult, but he's been surrounded. They have the top potential. They can stun him up, lock him down. Nisha will surely fall as the ult ends. A final rules up into the air, throws him down to his death. They'll up to the high ground. Matthew will be kept alive just in time, and the false promise will get back to base, but there's no safety for Zai. Zai to fall. GH over towards this Oracle. It's crumbling for Secret. It's falling apart. They need something incredible right now. And Yapsor
That's
will
the back toss
find
they
Sky.
needed.
They get the catch on Weeha. What more can they go for? Miracle, he's still not done. He's just diving in straight.
He's out of mana, but 21 charges.
That's it. He's draining the remainder of that mana, but he's caught the pit. Man, he's just dead. A triple kill for Miracle. As Nigma, they are going nowhere. They're staying deep inside Secret's base. Vacuum will pull back the three of them, but the damage continuing to be done to Secret.
You can't man fight once you have that corrosive haze on him, plus the death with much minus armor.
GH is just straight in. Matsu trying to commit, but the stuns are holding down his advances. Shadow Dance once again being used by Medium Matsu, but is only in an attempt to escape. The mid racks get cleaned up. The bottom racks do still stand. Yapsor, another toss, but they have to get a kill out of this. But GH, he finds the perfect setup there thanks to Yapsor for a 3-man crush. Miracle immediately forces Yapsor to get out. Zai has to use the surge to save him.
They're still kiting, but if they lose 1/2 heroes here, they have no buybacks, and Miracle just decided to hit the racks. His arm pops the rage.
And then they're taking it. They're taking this melee rack. There is no
bad
stopping them right now. Or maybe there is. The melee racks are still there. They're going to try and initiate. Secret go forward, but the BKB's up on Weeha. Forward he goes. Straight away, looking at Matsu now with the lifestealer inside, and they do want to reset. Nigma, they're going to respect Secret. They won't overcommit for the melee racks. They do not want to make any sort of mistake.
A lot of illusions from that wall, but they're going to go back in full HP. Also, they have Underlord to bail them if something goes wrong. Underlord itemizing to mitigate any kind of physical damage right now. Vanguard getting that Crimson Guard after that. He's way too tanky to kill, so he stands in front of their face, using Pit of Malice to keep it in place.
Up he goes once more.
That
Miracle.
arm.
Disarms very hard for both. He's ready to play around, but much harder for Secret as they're too far behind. It seems 12k down right now, 25 minutes.
That's what they want to do. Go in, try to force any kind of item, any kind of ability. Puppy was forced to use ulti on himself, and that's what Nigma wants.
To go again, Secret. They're trying to get in, but they're immediately forced back. This melee rack finally goes down. They have the full 5-man alive, pretty much the entirety of their ults available, but they cannot do anything to stop Nigma coming in and taking these barracks from underneath their noses.
Seems like a plan for Nigma. Always seems so easy. We're gonna have a Miracle free farm, get that Deso pretty much, even though Weeha has a lot of farm in this game and has done a ton of work. We get that first Roche, build up the advantage until there's a second Roche up. Now they have the lane presence from these mega creeps. So lanes are gonna be pushed in, which allows them to take the second Roche much easier.
And just everything, these auras, the frost armor, the Kuro's constantly giving out to his teammates from the Ogre. Makes it so hard for Secret to really get any sort of fight in. They're going to try for the wraparound, catch him on the back lines, and they can't. There's the vacuum wall combination down onto mind control and Kuro, but they're seemingly just still too tanky. BKB caught by Weeha as he gets into the static link on Denisha. Miracle forcing Zai away, but Zai's stuck to the trees. He'll turn over towards Puppy, make sure there's no safety to offer. They've lost Nisha, they've lost Yapsor. It's a double kill for Miracle. They're going to tap out right now. GG is called, and Lacoste, we are getting that game 5.
And that's what we wanted. We wanted to see these two teams play at the highest level. Nigma, they stepped up. They might look like they have one strat, but if it's working, don't change it.
No,
in the previous game, they forced Lifestealer to try lane against him, so he did not get that much farm. In this game, he was having the freest game of his life, you know?
Yeah, and you cannot understate what they're doing. This is something that people have said, oh sure, you know, Nigma, they're able to play to these timings against some of the teams that they feel are not quite as challenging, but here in the grand finals, to do it against Team Secret now 2 games in a row, that's incredible.
Yeah, I think Kuro said play more like Zai, and this is what Mind Control did. It did. He fed a couple of kills early on, but then he carried them with some really nice bit of malices and the item build. Like, you get that pipe, it's pretty much the item that you want to go for, and building the Crimson Guard after that, they had no damage. His aura was